Tonight we go all the way back to 1982 to Wembley to the FA Cup final. Tottenham Hotspur versus QPR. Hi and good evening and welcome to Tantrum Gold, your home, your classic games, classic talk, classic content and classic any other thing we can think of we do on this channel. From sexy cartoon characters to the hottest 80 games on music. Tonight we're going all the way back to 1982 to Tottenham in the FA Cup final. Following Aussie's stream, they reached their second consecutive FA Cup final, the same as they did back in 61 and 62. Where they played QPR. I think QPR were in the second division then. But there with me that day is my mate and everyone the Undertaker would run scared of this man. He'd be the Undertaker 2.0. It's Cooper. How are you, Cooper?
Doing well here, thanks, Dermot. I'm not so sure the Undertaker would be scared. He's about 2 foot taller than me.
I was watching something last night on WWF, something on Sky, and they actually had the Undertaker, and I forgot how scary he was when he came on with the bike and the dark. And
they just said he had the greatest entrance of all time. Yeah.
If you can hear a bit of noise in the background, I've actually got my electric fire on. It's pretty cold here in Ireland, in the west coast, in the southeast. So I do apologise about that, but as Cooper once says, my tootsies are cold. Yes, they are. So I need them on just for a bit of warmth. But anyway,
Dermot's little tootsies. Yeah,
little tootsies. Yeah, I've got one for you. Hang on, where is it? There you go, Cooper.
Oh dear.
Right, we'll be taken down there. Right, should we see who's in the comments?
Go for it.
If I hit them, you read them.
You're going to hit people now. Oh, no, right. It's just Phil. It's Phil. Hollywood Phil just coming out. He just can't help but taunt us. I used to go out with a parachutist with IBS, but it's all over now. It's on me from a great height. Absolutely.
Moving on.
It's the one-liners book coming out tonight from Phil.
Yeah, it is. It is, yeah.
Wayne Bonner, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening,
good evening,
mate. Good to join us.
Hang on, sorry, wrong one.
Moondog, good evening, mate.
Good evening,
Moondog. Join us as well.
Yeah.
Phil just saying, have a great stream, guys.
Yeah, have a good date with Adele. That's where Phil's off to tonight.
He's off with his I don't know, polo or something, isn't he? Yeah. With the
he's playing posh squash. That's what he's playing.
Lily White Lane again. Evening, lads. Evening, mate. Good of you
to
join us.
Good evening.
Moondog saying makes a change from the laptop noise. Laptop
I will
noise,
get this sorted.
Machine. Yeah,
my laptop is going in for repairs this week. It will be going in for repairs.
Dermot is the man of many noises on this stream.
Yeah.
Thomas Thacker. Good
evening.
I don't recognise his name. Perhaps you just joined us for the first time. Very, very welcome, anyway.
Yeah. Good evening. I will mute myself, actually. Unmute myself.
That's going to make it very difficult to talk to you, Dermot. I can just guess. It's okay.
We could do sign language.
Shall I do your voice and then I'll reply?
Yeah, go on then. How do I sound like then? Go on. Do this message in my voice.
Here's a little message from Mark Cousins. Evening, gents. How are you?
I don't talk like that. Have you got a vibrator under your arse?
That's the washing machine.
Is it? I thought it was vibrator. But anyway, we're definitely going off the stream tonight.
Oh dear, it's all going to hell already.
We're definitely put on the naughty step by YouTube for the first 4 minutes. We've said 2 words we shouldn't have said.
And what's that?
I did.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
That's an Irish howdy.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. YouTube,
right,
if you're watching, that's hello.
Yes, Mark Cousins. Evening, gents. How are we? Evening, Mark. Doing well here.
Mark. Yeah.
Moondog saying, when will Phil be bringing out his own aftershave?
In the near future, I think it's something he's working on in the background. He's gone in with Jay-Z. That's what he's done.
Yeah, odor unbearable.
Yeah. Right.
Carl Simpson. Hello again, mate. Back again.
Hi, Carl. Nice to see you over on Sean's channel.
And Thomas Tucker. Heard about the channel from We Are Tottenham TV and thought I'd come and get involved. Oh, brilliant. Thank you, mate. Thanks for joining.
Thank you so much. You're very much welcome. I hope you enjoyed the classic game we got tonight for you.
Basically, with our channel, just think of how professional they are. We're the opposite of that. So, here we go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Hang on, we've got this one here from. But welcome, Thomas. Absolutely lovely to have you here.
Scott, spot on impression, Cooper. Right. So that's Dermot for you.
Yeah, how are you doing now?
The Irish.
Would you like a cup of tea, Coover? Would you like a cup of tea?
You'll never beat the English.
You'll never beat the Irish. Back off, Coover. Back off.
Right. Shall I get the game started?
By the word, Aaron last night did give us what feck off means. So it's Irish for hi, see ya.
It is.
So he says. I have a funny feeling it means
so
something
says.
else.
Any excuse.
Yeah.
Anyway, as Dermot said, we got Tottenham against QPR from the 1982.
Moondog is saying hello to Thomas. Carl is welcoming Thomas as well. More the merrier. And Thomas is saying cheers, Moondog. Well,
Absolutely.
that's that bit over. Now, should we get the game on?
I'm going to get the game on because
let me get off because
it's not actually the greatest game in the world. This one,
but it's from Duck Jive.
Yep.
Look, there's Dave Harris.
It is indeed.
There's an Irish flag. There's Dave Harris there.
Cross, that's what you want for the
logo. That's what I want. Yeah. There's Dave Harris there.
I'll see if we can sort that one out for you.
Yeah.
Big up to Duck Jive One again for using this footage. If you want to watch this match and along with a lot of other Spurs matches and England matches from the past, please go over to Duck Jive One's channel. Give him a like and a subscribe. He's well worth it. He's put a lot of time and effort into collecting all these videos, and it's fantastic we're able to use them. And he does like to pop on and join in a lot as well, which is great.
He does.
Like to keep a good Spurs thriving community online going for YouTube, and it's growing all the time. Fantastic stuff.
Spurs in all yellow for this game. This was the replay. It ended 1-1, a very poor first game, and I don't think the replay lived up to expectations, considering the game we had 12 months earlier when we beat Man City 3-2 in that dramatic final.
Absolutely.
But Spurs were in contention for a lot of trophies this season, weren't they?
They were indeed. We had a cracking team in the early 80s. We really did. I'll see if I've got did I remember to put the team and the banners?
Thank you once again, Moondog. Thank you so much indeed. Very kind of you. Thank you so much. Hit the like and subscribe, lads. Yeah, thank you so much.
And as usual, I've forgotten to make the banner for it as well. You know what? I thought I'd got everything prepared for this one, and I hadn't. That's so me, really, isn't it?
Just one of them days today, isn't it?
It has been. It has been. These small stream this morning, it was supposed to be ended up as 2 hours long. Dermot wasn't going to be on, and he was. Everything we weren't planning on. But on we go anyway.
Right. Do you want me to get some of the latest quotes while you're doing that?
Absolutely. And I'll just grab the team sheet for this game.
Okay. The first one here is join us at 5:30 as we talk. That's what I put up on Twitter earlier. So thank you for everyone that's actually watching on Twitter as well and Twitch as well. So thank you very much for everyone. Ericsson's agent Martin Scoots says playing in England again would absolutely feel like coming home for Chris and his family. Christian has said. His agent has said. So, what do you think to that very quickly?
Sorry, so which one's that, Dermot? I was just concentrating on this for a second.
Sorry. Sorry, hang on. Let me go back. Actually, all right, I'll go back. Right, I'll start doing this one. I'll go back to that one. The FA Puskins Award has officially been cut down from 11 goals to 3, and one of them is Eric Lamella's goal against Arsenal last season. So it's gone. It's into the last 3 now.
Nice.
So that one.
It was great. If only that goal had been the winner, though. That's
I know.
the only thing let it down.
Tottenham Hotspur target Dusan Vlahovic. Where he will not renew his contract with Fiorentina. Well, that was sort of a given, wasn't it? To be fair.
Yeah,
he knew that was
sounds happen. Like he wants to move. So hopefully Conte's got enough pulling power about him.
Yeah. And also Tottenham Hotspur are working strongly to sign Vlahovic for the summer, even trying a difficult attempt this window. Fiorentina want him until the summer. Understandable. Another bit of news from Spurs Web there. Coutinho will join Tottenham over Newcastle this January. The 29-year-old could leave Barcelona soon after receiving offers already. What's your thoughts on Coutinho? Would you like to see him at the club or not?
Compared to what we've got at the moment, yeah, I'd certainly take him to the end of the season. I mean, that's definitely worth a punt. He was a great player when he was at Liverpool. That's for sure. He was amazing at Bayern Munich as well. Didn't quite work out for him at Barcelona for some strange reason when you thought it would. He's got the creativity. He's got goals in him as well. If he's available, of course he's worth a go. Not so sure about a permanent transfer though, because it might not work out. It'd be quite an investment if it didn't work out.
Yeah, it would be. Just very quick news here. Matt Doherty will be allowed to leave Spurs this January. Why the club are also open to offers for Stevie B and Dele Alli. Not surprised though, really, is there?
No, I think they're all targets. A lot of us talk about getting shot of them, don't we? Perhaps a bit of a surprise with Doherty because you'd think he might be. He hasn't been at the club very long. I know you were saying earlier, Dermot, that you thought he should be given a chance, but it's a difficult one that because he just doesn't fit the sort of the blueprint of what Conte wants for a fullback. He's lacking pace for a start. That's a major stumbling block for him. He's just simply can't cover the ground like other players can, end to end on those flanks.
Just a quick. Sorry, because just think, is the noise for the fire too high? If it is, I can turn it down. So if it's just annoying people, just let us know in the comments. It's just very cold here today. Might be freezing all day. Another bit of news here for you for the chat actually did dull over. I'd like to hear the chats on this as well. And any of the news I bring up, please in the chat give us your thoughts so me and Cooper can discuss them as well. AC Milan have rejected a swap deal between Frank Kessie and Ndombele. That is from Sport Media Set. Not a surprise really, is it?
Well, rumours are going to be absolutely rife at the moment. Agents will be going overtime to try and force moves and things. So I think it's more sort of wait and see at the moment. The trouble is with the position we're in, the longer things are going on, the more we get nervous, I think, because we desperately need the reinforcements. Time's already ticking on. We're on, it's 4th of January already. It sounds silly to get in a panic early on, but we need the players really badly.
We do. We really do. That one's no good. Thank you, Paul, for liking what I put up on Twitter about the game tonight. That one there. We've done the Christian Eriksen one. Just seeing if there's any more news coming up. No, that's all the latest news. At the moment.
Deal with a few more comments.
Yeah, if there are any more breaking news, we will bring to you first here on Tantrum Gold. So we'll get that one.
Because nobody's more breaking news than the channel that does retro matches.
Yeah.
Moondog saying, hit the like and subscribe, lads.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And share, please, if you like
Yeah.
the channel, please share about.
And
The further we can reach, the more
Yeah.
material we'll be able to get. The sort of
Yeah.
our income goes up.
Yeah, and if you like to, you can donate to the channel as well, just to buy games and equipment and just improve our overall thing for bringing you better content. I will put the link in there shortly. You've got there for Mark Cousins there, Goof.
Yeah, Mark Cousins. I hope this is the replay because the first game was duller than this one. Yeah, it is the replay.
Yeah,
I don't think I could bear watching 90 minutes of the first game. Moondog saying, a quick question, lads. What app do you use for up-to-date Spurs transfer news? I use the one app. Is there anything better? There's also what's the one I look on the web quite often? There's one that collects all sorts of different sites and breaking news from all over the place. I think that's Spurs News Now or something like that. It was called. There's a couple like that at least, but otherwise you could get over to the likes of our mate Matty Hayes and people like that. He's very up to date on all the transfers. That's the bulk of his show, is looking at the latest news and gossip. Isn't that right, Dermot?
Yeah, yeah, there is. Matty Hayes is the man for the transfer news, and get over there, top bloke, and also we'll try to bring the latest here, but Matty Hayes is the transfer. Then there's Grass Crooks in Spurs. It's the first FA Cup final where both teams wore their away kits. I think it was somebody said that the other day in one of the comments. So
it's a good question, that, wasn't it?
It was. But I use the Spurs web on Twitter. Also, I have a source in the club as well, so I'll go by them and what my source tells me. So if I hear it first and I know it's going to be 100%, I will let you know.
That's you know that's going to be a little bit dodgy now because Conte's banned source from the club.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. Right. Thomas Tacker here.
Thomas Tacker. I heard Milan have rejected Ndombele.
Yeah.
Surprised me.
Yeah, that has happened. So we're never going to get rid of him, are we? We're never ever going to get.
Whatever happens, I'm sure we'll end up paying the bulk of his wages to wherever he goes for a while.
Yeah.
He's just been disastrous for us.
Yeah.
I think that's to go down as one of the worst signings we've ever made.
Yeah,
just because of the sheer amount of money involved.
Yeah, again, Hitchin again. Another bad signing by Hitchin.
Yeah, there's a lot's gone wrong in the last few years, isn't there? Moondog saying Justine Brooke is sub. Yes, he is.
Yes.
Gary Brooke. I saw Brooke. He said I saw Brooke play when Spurs played Gillingham in the third round of the Milk Cup. I was astonished how fast he was. Yeah, he was. He really was surprisingly quick. I think that's why we wanted to hang on to him. But even though he wasn't getting regular first team football, when he did play, you could see it. He was a very rapid player indeed.
And then the last one's from Derek Hutchinson.
Derek Hutchinson, good evening, Dermot and Coonga. Good evening, mate. Good of you to join us again.
Do you know, I don't understand why they wore their away kits. They surely they could have wore their home kits. They normally do. It doesn't make a clash. Was there a bit of a clash?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're wearing white and navy blue shorts, and QPR with the white and blue hoops. I can understand that being a bit of a clash. When you, peripheral vision, especially if you just see a flash of white and blue, could be very off-putting.
For the
other question as well: what's the first FA Cup final where the referee was sent off? Or was it an FA Cup final? Hang on, I might have to look up the exact wording on that question.
Well, who was the first player ever to be sent off in an FA Cup final?
I know that one.
That's a question. So do I. Right, put it in the chat.
Should we give him a clue and say it's an Irishman?
No, we won't. We'll give you 10 minutes, right, to get the answers in, and then we'll give you 10 minutes to do. And also, so let me check up on where what Spurs did that season. So it's the 81-82 season. 81. From Hotspur. Right, here we go.
Oh, Mark Cousins got it straight away anyway.
Oh, yeah, he has, yeah. Rainbow on a note. We chairman was Arthur Richardson. Now, I'll give you a bit of description. Arthur Richardson was part of the Whale family that were owners of Tottenham since the 1920s, I think. There was 3 families that owned Tottenham at this time, and they all took their own sort of. Each family took it a bit to be chairman of the club. So the Whale family and the Richardson family were there for the great Super Spurs of the 60s and 70s under the great BMX. So that's who the chairman was. The manager was Keith Birkinshaw, legend. We finished 4th in the first division. It was a year we should actually won the league because we had a great run in that league season. We were runners up in the League Cup, semi-finals of the Companies Cup, and the Charity Shield was shared. And can you remember, Coof, who we played in the Charity Shield?
On the 81-82 season?
Yeah.
It's got to be either Liverpool, Forest, or Villa. One of those. I can't think which. I'm going to go.
We've got Ben Kaufman coming in. We'll bring Ben in.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Hello.
How are you, Ben? Hello.
Hey, oh, hang on. Let's get.
Hang on. We'll get them in the middle.
We've got the crowd here.
Yeah. Who have we got there, Ben?
We've got Mr. Brian Daigle and Danny Kiriakou.
Good evening, lads. How are you?
How's everyone doing?
This is just a straight carry on from Christmas, isn't it?
How are we doing, boys?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
We're watching the fantastic 1982 Cup final.
Is this the one where Glenn held a penalty?
Yeah.
Have we missed a penalty?
No, not yet. No.
Okay, so we haven't missed Tony Galvin's incredible run.
No. We're just asking the question: who's the first player to get sent off in an FA Cup final? We just went for a few more comments to come in, but do you lads know?
First player to get sent off in an FA Cup final.
Don't say anything yes, but we'll give you a few minutes to think of that.
No, I was thinking, wait a minute.
What, do you want a clue?
Yeah, go on.
He was Irish.
No. If I say the team, can you let me know if it? Actually, no. Don't say it's Irish. I want to go. Okay.
The match was Man United versus Everton. That was the cup final.
Is it Matt? Then I know exactly who it is.
Yeah.
Norman Whiteside.
No, and here's the penalty. What a penalty! Right,
Sure.
I'm going to tell you now. It was Kevin Moran. Moran.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kevin Moran.
You was that game.
Kevin Moran. That's it. We can't get my teeth around that name.
Norman Whiteside scored the winner.
It
Oh,
is
there
with
you
that.
go. We've got the right game. We just got the.
Yeah.
And for a bonus point, which player did Kevin Moran foul to get sent off?
Norman Whiteside.
No, he's on the same side.
Ray Wilkins.
No.
I'm just.
Peter Reid.
I'm sorry. I've been at Ben's coffee shop. I'm a little bit hyper.
Got too much espresso.
I'm about to have a double espresso as well, so watch out.
Oh Lord.
I was drinking the bagel.
Brian starting the stream on the floor, and he's going to be up on the ceiling.
The
Daigle.
bagel.
It's the new latte art style, the Daigle. Yeah, I mean, people got to start thinking of Tottenham Hotspur player names for Ben to have some copy names after players. Yeah, well, actually, I've got the man. There's a man on this stream who will now come up with about 300 of them, and that's Kuba. Kuba, I have to say, the message you sent me today, I sent it straight to Danny. It was fucking brilliant.
I can't remember, mate.
Well, when you said you let me know should anything pop up.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, standard, isn't it? Yeah.
Typical you, buddy.
Yeah. Sorry about the mix-up, anyway, mate.
Yeah, we do apologise, Brian.
No, mate, listen.
Don't worry about it.
Mate, listen, I spoke to Phil. It's nothing, no problem, drama, anything whatsoever. Whatsoever, mate. None whatsoever.
All right, calm down. Don't get punched.
Mate, listen, I've been on the goddamn coffee. Don't make me come in there, mate.
Oh Lord!
Oh dear, a few coffees and he's
You got me on the drink already, Brian. Look, he's sending me to drink already.
So it went mental because he's got George Best. So it's just like, how many times does this Gareth Bale one?
Well, you're both wrong. It's called Gascoigne.
You've started Dermot off now. He's starting to swig back the orange juice a bit quickly.
It was a normal stream until we turned up.
I thought it was Jermaine Defoe.
Should we go up with some of these comments? Go for
What do we comment, are we? No,
Yeah.
we're like professional or something.
We're not professional on there, I know.
Yeah, let's go for it. Let's do some
Right.
comments.
I hit and you read them.
You've got your own on the copy.
Yeah,
Mark
mate,
Cousins,
it's only coffee. Those days are gone, I'm afraid.
Yeah,
I'm
saying lay off the coffee. That's all.
Yeah. Don't worry, Brian. I'm
Coffee.
drinking for all of us.
It's fucking good coffee.
It's incredible coffee.
Yeah, coffee
Everyone
gets
gets
off
out
your
to the
tits.
coffee
doesn't
shop.
it? Absolutely. Yeah. Well, Ben's legend, isn't he?
He is.
He's not going to be settling for like weak coffee, is he? It's going to be top stuff. Anyway, right. Let's see. Yeah, Mark. Few people got the answer right. Of course, it is Kevin Moran. Cup final against Everton.
Not Kevin Moran.
No, not Kevin Moran. No, Kevin Moran. Wayne Bonner saying Peter Reid is, and he is definitely the player that Kevin Moran brought down. Peter Reid was going through on goal 1-on-1, so you could say it was the first one that was sent off for a professional foul, if you like.
Okay, so I'll tell the other question to you. Who's the first keeper to save a penalty in the FA Cup final?
Oh, that's a good one.
It's not. I don't think it's the obvious one.
Perhaps it is this one. Perhaps it's this game.
It's not this game.
Is it Dave Besant?
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Wow.
I thought you were going to say Mark Crossley because of Lineker.
Liverpool against Everton. John Aldridge took the penalty and missed it.
Oh, that's right. Fuck me. So I've got my own question wrong. Are you sure this is only coffee? Are you sure this is only coffee?
There's some psychedelics.
Oh no! Hey, well, should we have the night off and leave it to these three to do it because these are brilliant.
Open mic at Ben's coffee shop.
Listen, mate. I'll just ask you random questions and I'll have the wrong answers for you.
How many chimneys does the Titanic have?
I don't know, but it sank. Right.
And where was it built? Belfast. Of course, it was built there.
Yeah, but that's part of England. It's not part of Ireland. Nothing to do with us.
That's what I'm saying. It's shit. Built by some Northern Irishmen and some Liverpudlians. Of course, it was going to break.
Yeah, they're all drunk at the time, weren't they? Drinking beers and Guinness and everything. I would just stick this bit in there. That would do.
It's fighting talk. Don't stand for it.
If the Titanic hit the iceberg head on, it would not have sunk. And that's a fact.
What did he say?
If the Titanic hit the iceberg head on, it wouldn't have sunk. It's true.
Dodgy driving. That's what it was.
So, what's the nationality of the Titanic's captain? That's the thing.
He was English, wasn't he?
Looking at you, Dermot.
He wasn't Irish. Was he?
Everyone, let's go.
I don't know. I don't have a clue, mate. I just thought I'd wind you up with it.
If he was Irish, then we're all fucked.
Oops.
Whoops. Sorry.
That's what I'll be saying. Don't believe you trying to buy something. It's been 18
Right, let's get through some of these comments, because
We better get through some of them. Yeah. Thomas Thacker saying around the Manchester United player. Yes, he was indeed.
Can you imagine me trying to do that?
Mark Cousins saying Aston Villa.
That's so funny.
And Dog Evening Lads. Didn't we do that one earlier?
yeah, no, we didn't know.
Arguing about themselves.
So we did that one there.
9 years in a row. So why does that matter?
Right. You were doing this one here.
Very quickly, Dover. I've seen these in the chat.
So funny.
So
Yeah.
I just want to say something, and I wanted to say it on We Are Tottenham TV, but I couldn't because there was so much going on this Good Morning Tottenham. And I want to pick up a very special guy who gets everywhere and is the true sets free. Now, The Truth Sets Free, who has become an incredible supporter of all the channels, knows or should know why I'm thanking him. Let's just say he was saying some stuff when Mikey was on, which touched my heart and just went to show the pure class that this guy is. So he knows why I'm saying this, and I wanted to call it out live on air, but we got cut short. But Truth Set Free, I have a lot of respect for you before what you were saying beforehand, and I just want to big you up for what you were saying because it was an incredible gesture, and just top man, big up, and mad respect for you.
You've got to join us on the 24th of January. The Truth Sets Free is making his official debut on Tantrum Gold.
24th?
24th of January. Yeah. What was the number 24?
Yeah, no, that part I know. No, it's just because at the moment I'm due to fly home on the 23rd. That all depends on Bob. So if I fly home on the 24th, I might be absolutely jet lagged up.
Even better.
But I will try. I will try. And also, pick up someone else who's just come to the channel I love, and they need to come on my channel, my fellow Canadian, and I can say fellow Canadian, so I'm now going to be going for my citizenship, Catman Jess.
He's also on the 24th as well.
Fuck me!
Catman Jess and the Truth Sets Free.
Okay, so
show.
Okay, so I'm definitely delaying going home. I'm going to blame you both on my wife. I'll say my wife, I can't come home. Bob, Truth Sets Free, and Catman Jess have all scuppered my plan. No, I'm only joking. I'm gonna change my ticket and then tell her.
Yeah. You can blame me all you like, Brian. I'm fine.
Yeah.
My wife isn't the boss of me.
You can have to remember phrases like "There's nothing I could do. It's the only one I could get."
Yeah, but also people say to me, Brian, I can give you some positive COVID tests if you want. I'm like, yeah, I don't think that'll work when she sees me on streams. And then we are talking video. I thought you had COVID. I'm like, yeah.
Not better.
You could be going the perils of COVID special.
Yes. But it looks like it will be extended anyway because obviously Bob, I'm not leaving this country without Bob seeing me and me seeing Bob with his own eyes. So yeah, it looks like it will be extended.
Yeah, and big up Bob as well. We're all with you, man. And, you know, we're all thinking of you, Kim and Arthur, and they're all living. So, you know, everyone from here.
And everyone, yeah, wish Kim better because now Kim's got COVID.
Yeah. Yeah, Phil said to me yesterday about that. So, and Reds as well, isn't it?
Got it. Thank God.
Thank God you got all clear, Brian.
Yep.
That's good. Right, we'll get through some of these here very quickly.
We've just overthrown the show.
How many times is Moondog going to say evening, lads? Lol.
Okay, go to that one then. Yeah, one.
Evening, Ben, Brian, and Danny from Thomas Thacker.
Yeah. We've got he's a new one.
Twice.
Yeah. Good evening, welcome
to the channel again, I believe.
Love
this triple cameo of fellas.
I mean, as far as the trio goes, this is not bad.
I've always wanted Danny on this show, and it's a dream of mine, and I'm so honoured he's come on our show tonight. I'm absolutely over the moon Danny's here.
On this channel, I think. Have I been on before? I'm not sure, actually.
No, we'd love to get you on, Danny. Do your all-time Spurs 11.
Okay, yeah, we can do that, definitely. And it's a pleasure to be on, by the way, because, I know I've obviously been I had a lot of work in the last couple of months, so it's been hard to get on streams, but slowly getting back on and obviously joining Tottenham on tour officially as well, which is going to be massive for this year because we've got so much planned.
Yeah.
And it's a pleasure to come on. So I'll definitely be able to come on a lot more often, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we'd love to have you on, Danny. Absolutely over the moon you're on. There we've got Truth Sets Free.
Just big up in general. Yeah, damn right. Truth Sets Free, St. Dermot in its cloth run.
In its cloth run, yeah.
Did I say
which actually, there actually is an Irish saint called St. Dermot. So,
educational here as well.
Yeah.
Oh, do you know what? Rich, I would love this as well. Levy locked in a room with me hyped up on espresso. I mean, you wouldn't need anything. I could be plain cold, just woke up in the morning as fresh as a daisy, and that would be box office. But me hyped up on espresso? That's entertainment.
That's box office there.
It'll be like the end of one of the Batman movies. Levy hanging from his ankle at the outside of a building.
Oh, mate, honestly, me, Danny, and Levy in a room, mate. That sounds like a reincarnation on Crime Watch.
And you can have Ben outside.
I can just imagine Daniel Levy begging to Brian, saying, "No, you need me like I need you."
Oh, mate, Danny and I actually came up with two. We had two ideas. We were either going to kidnap Daniel Levy and put him in the trunk of a car and take him somewhere, or we were going to find the one we preferred was to find out where Jerry Lewis's boat is. Hijack his boat. Hijack his boat, unless you give him a contract saying sign everything to us or else. And then we were going to get in his yacht, drive into the Thames, and get a megaphone and go, "Daniel Levy, you're fired," like Vince McMahon. And then we would have taken the club. But then we both woke up.
I think we better clarify at this point that they are in fact joking about this.
Yeah. It's allegedly. Can we just get the allegedly wording?
It's in London.
Road trip. Okay, me and Danny are on the hunt for Joe Lewis's boat this evening.
Get updates here on Tantrum Gold.
Questions about your coffee, mate.
Live. A pop-up outside Joe Lewis's.
There are questions being asked about the Kaufman stock of coffee.
You know what, good. I actually do agree with you. I think there's something funny in that coffee.
He likes the Colombian blend, does Ben?
He does.
It's actually there now.
Right, should we get through some of these, Coo, very
Let's
quickly?
get through some of these then. Barnabas, good to view you join us again. Oh, missed the question.
We'll do that one there.
Oh, hang on. Moondog said, Brian Daigle, you sure you're the only on coffee?
Yeah.
It's to blame.
Trust me, I'd love to blame it on something else, but I can't blame it on something else, and it is only coffee.
Especially roasted coffee.
Yeah.
Can I ask you a question, Ben? Ben, can I ask you a question? Do you get your coffee from Colombia?
I've got some coffee from Colombia.
Well, that says it all then.
Listen.
Coffee, but...
Listen. I used to love a bit of Colombian marching powder. I used to love it. People know I had an addiction to it, but unfortunately, no more. I don't fancy a divorce or the repercussions. So yeah, it is only coffee. And being a 42-year-old man now, I've actually normally said to myself, no coffee after 6 p.m. And I've broken that rule, so I can guarantee my wife right now is very thankful I'm in London.
So when you get to 45, it gets worse, Brian. Believe me. Right. Right. Did we do the Barnabas one?
Yeah, Barnabas is saying, I have a feeling we will beat the plastics in both legs.
Of course we will.
I hope
Of course we will.
break that for them.
I read that one.
Go Truth Sets Free, God's Medicine. You know, Truth loves that. Absolutely. Mervyn Day saying Moondog.
Yeah.
I can't believe Daniel Jones.
Fair play to you, Truth Sets Free. Fair play to you.
Wayne Bonner saying Lurch for Wimbledon in '88. Yeah, that was certainly a penalty save against Liverpool, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Cuba Villa were the team we played in the Charity Shield in '81.
Yeah, it was. This year they won the European Cup as well.
Catman Jess, big up Truth Sets Free. Same here, buddy. Thomas Thacker, big up Truth Sets Free. Truth Sets Free means the world to me, Brian. Thanks. Yeah, got the big up from Brian. Truth Sets Free. February the 24th. Now I get a month to hide with my anxiety.
You'd be grand, Truth Sets Free. You don't even come on with your picture. Just come on with your camera, and then you'll be grand. But we'd love to have you on.
Graham, evening, Graham.
Evening, Graham.
Yeah.
And Truth Sets Free. Thanks, big up. Catman Jess, is it January 24th of February? I'm excited, still a bit anxious too, True.
Whenever suits you, Catman Jess. Whenever suits you.
I think Truth is stalling here. Oh no, of course, respect to Brian Day.
No. Listen, let's see if my flight is postponed, because I have to watch, or at least watch, if not come on when these two are on. If my flight gets extended, But actually, what I'm talking about, it's your fucking show. They go on when they bloody well want, but the 24th of February I may be severely jet lagged, so it'll be watched on repeat. Repeat. Oh, fuck. Take this coffee.
Catman Jess is saying big up to Brian. To
Big
you,
up.
Brian?
Big up.
Cody Mac, do.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Big up, Cody.
Mark Cousins says big up to all of you in the coffee shop.
Absolutely.
Go and read this one out. This is so brilliant.
True Set 3, the show is so Hollywood, mate. Where is Phil the legend? Absolutely.
He's playing posh squash or water polo, I think, with his Hollywood friends. I think that's where he is tonight.
You know, if Phil was here, Dermot, us two would just be pushed out of the way. They'd just be.
Oh, we would, yeah.
Yeah.
But we're just a couple of scallywags. You know, we're not the same league as Phil. We're just a couple of Irish scallywags. I've adopted you, Cleaver. You're
Mark Cousins. Is this coffee shop in Amsterdam?
I wish it was, because I'd be there.
Yeah. I mean, I think my hyperness is this is generally me after a double espresso at this time of night. God, I sound like I'm 82, not 42.
Richard. I'm assuming it's Rich Weiss here, or is it Rich Weiss? I don't know.
I'll say Vice.
I'd say Vice. Anyway, everyone invited to do lines on Joe Lewis's boat after he pirates it. Yes, lines saying "I am a naughty boy, I will not steal boats." Those sort of lines on it have to be. Couldn't possibly be anything else. Aaron Dove saying, "How's all?"
How are you doing, me Irish brother?
What's up, Aaron?
We got to the bottom. Did that quite well, Cleaver?
No, there must be more. We can't be up to date with comments.
Yeah, we are.
That's impossible. Quick, end the show now, quick.
There's 19 people in there watching us, so please, everyone, please like and subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications.
It's like triple royalty in the middle there. So
I know it is. Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
quite nervous now with the three kings now in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
Guys, you shouldn't feel nervous. And also, I just got to say, you hit 200. I think where are you at prior to the show beginning?
I'll tell you now. Keep talking, dude. Keep talking. Talk something.
Yeah, there's some football on in the background. Whatever.
And there's three lads in an Amsterdam coffee shop.
Yeah,
planning kidnapping and grand theft.
They're playing grand. I tell you what, they're like planning a grand theft auto raid on Joe Lewis's boat.
Yeah, we're going to grab the AK.
235, Brian.
Mate, so you're growing. It's incredible, mate. And the thing is, like I said to you guys before, you've got a real niche with this kind of concept, and people are loving you guys, mate. It's not the guests you bring on, whatever, but they're tuning in every morning knowing they've got you two or Phil or Ben. So it's the work you're putting in, mate. It's not going unnoticed. You should be very, very proud of what you guys are doing.
I'm proud of the channel, and I'm proud that I'm honoured, like the likes of you and Danny and Dave and all that talk us up so much. And I couldn't do it without Phil and Goover. I really couldn't. I mean, these two are the backbone of the channel. So I'm so grateful for everyone.
Your special orange as well, Dermot. Don't forget that. It's a big part of the show.
Which is now tonight. The special orange is Irish Still Spring Water.
Yeah, okay.
That's cool.
Yeah.
If people are saying I've got something extra in my coffee, mate, you've definitely got something extra in your orange.
ADHD does come in very handy sometimes.
I don't know how Cooper escapes on this with his female G. He's definitely got something under the table tied in.
Yeah, he does go a bit rocky sometimes. The camera does go a bit funny, so I wonder what he does sometimes. I'm looking at him, the camera's left, right, up and down and everywhere.
Well, the extra stream in the background.
Yeah. We have True Sets Freezes Kaufman 2024, youngest president ever. Yeah. Yeah, we're going for the USA top job.
Well, mate,
And Eugene's in the building. Good evening, Eugene. Thank you for
Eugene,
joining us.
always a pleasure to see you, mate.
Sean Butler, financial minister.
What would I be? Security.
Wow, we're doing well on the comments tonight, Cliff.
We are doing well on the comments.
Yeah. We've got 21,000 new cases here in Ireland for COVID tonight.
We've actually got 21,000 people watching.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
that'll be nice. That'll be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's Brian Daigle for you. If he's plotting with Danny and the name Lewis or Levy comes up, then people are tuning in because it's like an episode of Crime Watch about to happen.
Yeah. Honestly, I've just found out where Ben just said the boat is. We're only 7 miles away from.
Oh, Lord. Just keep us on camera while you're doing it. They'd be like Terry Dodd, wouldn't they?
Oh, mate, if we got
we'll be done for accessories, won't we?
No, we just played dumb Cooper. We didn't know what they were doing. We don't speak English. Sorry. I didn't mean that.
It would just be leaving after James Bond.
Does streaming Brian tonight make us sort of liable for anything, like some sort of aiding and abetting?
No, we'll get away with it for grand. Go on, read out.
Catman Jess said, "Is it true that we're looking to hire Nuno for youth coach?"
Yeah, we're trying to hire Nuno how they look like garden gnomes. That's what they're doing.
No, do you know what? There is some truth behind this, which is just typical us. But how degrading is that going to be? If like Nuno comes back to set up the youth, if Nuno comes back to coach the youth, how degrading is that for him? Like, you're going to work under Conte, the man that's replaced you. You're deemed good enough, not good enough for the first team, and then I'm just waiting for the unveil when he gets the youth team and he goes, "I'm going to make you proud. I'm going to make you." There's truth behind it, but I really hope this doesn't happen.
I just can't see it. It makes
I can't see it either. I think it's a bit of stupid rumours, but I can't see it. But nothing surprises me with Tottenham. You know, we always do something silly.
Unless it's a case of the payoff for Nuno was so great that they thought it might as well put him to work at something, and so.
Well, this is the other thought. This is this is the other thing, because apparently at the moment he's on that famous gardening leave. So when they put him on that gardening leave, it's like, why are we paying him off the records on gardening leave when, rather than just paying him, this is the rather than paying him gardening leave for nothing, let's give him the job in the youth club where at least he earns his wage.
Yeah, I mean,
that's a point. That's a good point, actually. We've got Aaron here saying, "Go on."
Aaron Dove saying Terry Dodd was on Crime Watch.
Wow.
Did you hear that? Terry Dodd was on Crime Watch, apparently.
Oh God, Terry Dodd.
What a man. Did you
watch that episode?
I would love to get him on here just for how we got away from the guards.
I've never watched it.
Have you ever watched it?
Ben for president. That's the new one going up now. This is Gary and Momentum, actually.
Ben for president. What do we think? Ben for president?
Yeah.
Military commander.
Oh, we're all knackered there. Right. Truth sets feast, Catman.
Yeah. Thomas Thacker. Not sure he could be returning as academy director, but nothing official yet. Yeah, we'll wait and see on that one. It seems odd, but it does seem like a case of, well, if we're paying them, we might as well get them to do something.
Exactly. I think that's push terms for Waterboy.
Yeah. Thomas Thacker, all the youth will fall asleep. Oh dear. It could be a shock to the system. Some of those youth team players may not have seen a cardboard cutout before.
This is something new for them. Right. Tree Sets Face says, "I like Nuno, good man."
Yeah, seems a lovely bloke, but
we all wished him well. I think, if I be truthful, I felt sorry for him. I felt sorry for Nuno. I just think it was just not the right club for him.
Do you know what? I don't feel sorry for him in the slightest. His payoff is astonishing. I think that was
how much was his payoff?
It was like somewhere Well, I've heard rumours anywhere between 10 million and 14 million. It's just ridiculously high figures.
Set for life.
Absolutely.
Well, the one thing I will say about Nuno, and I urge everyone to check it out. I don't know if anyone has seen the documentary for Jimenez and his injury he got against Arsenal. Nuno is on that, and you get to see, like we got to see kind of Jose Mourinho, the man behind in the documentary. When you see Nuno, the man, it's a very emotional watch because of what happened to Jimenez. But I gained a lot of respect for Nuno. Football Manager is never going to work, especially after the debacle of all the managers. But he looked, as Grandpa said from We Are Tottenham TV, he looked depressed when he came to us. He looked like he'd had enough of football and needed a time out. The debacle that we went through is never going to be respected by the whole team and the people with the bad attitudes. But when you watch this, I can't remember what it's called. But if you just YouTube the Ralph Jimenez documentary and you see Nuno on that, it just shows what a wonderful man, like we heard he was. He most definitely is.
Well, I think Nuno was always a wonderful man, but I think it's just he wasn't the right manager for Spurs. He was never a Spurs manager, and that was the problem. The Spurs' job was just too big for him to handle. I think it was too big for him. What we wanted and what we needed an elite coach to kind of try and get us out of this situation, because someone like Nuno was like a Pope kind of manager.
That's what we played against Arsenal. Yeah. He played hoofball.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, but you even saw it in the tactics. Like he played this kind of rectangle shape in the middle where there was like no one in the middle of the park.
It was Donut FC.
Yeah, so like a donut. Yeah, it was literally like that. Yeah.
Bagel FC, come on.
No, it wasn't Bagel FC.
It's similarities with Mourinho as well, isn't it? Because I didn't like Mourinho, but then when we saw that the Amazon documentary with him at the club, I really started to like the bloke.
Everyone did. Do you know what, Cooper, though? That documentary, I believe, the reason why they did it with Jose Mourinho is so that they could try and change the fans' opinions on him and try and kind of get everyone behind him. And I think to an extent that a lot of fans like kind of warmed to Mourinho a lot more, and they liked him because they saw him for what he was and what like the kind of guy he was, the type of coach he was, and think, do you know what? We'll just give him a chance, sort of thing. And I think even though we kind of did, we still saw the kind of Mourinho of the last kind of like 5 years, and he's just not the same man he used to be. And I think that was all of us kind of deep down, we knew that, and we were kind of just hoping that it was going to work out, but it never was. I think it was the back end of the Chelsea job. After that season, after those couple of seasons in Chelsea again, I think it was kind of his career was done at top level football. I think. Yeah.
I mean, he said himself on camera, didn't he, that he's a changed man nowadays when he turned up. So I think we better clear a few comments, shall we, Dermot? Well, they're starting to build up again. Eugene, always a pleasure to see you, mate. Levy saving money on the youth coach. Yeah, it does seem a bit like that, doesn't it, mate? Wayne Bonner, if Nuno's on gardening leave, does that mean he's playing wanting the club's roots? Nice
Probably.
One, mate.
I always on what cars they drive. Mostly because my dad was 35 cars.
Your dad has what?
35 cars.
I think they're talking in the background. True Set Street saying Nuno won the Championship League with Porto as a garden gnome under Jones.
Back on I don't know if he was he?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. On we go, Cody, Mac.
Yes, of course. All right, okay. Let me them themselves out. I think it might be. Go on then.
Spurs are going to set a record for number of managerial contracts set to expire at the same time. He won Nuno off that list.
Yeah. When you see him driving a golden Ferrari, you know.
That's funny. It could well be. True Set Ring. I wish I was in that coffee shop.
So do I. Sounds
Definitely.
like coffee. Send us some over here, Ben.
It's because you know what? I picked up Ben's coffee shop before. So we came here today, and Danny and I said we were coming to play. I've been speaking to Ben all week about coming down. And obviously, you see it in the morning when he's on your channel doing the coffee morning, and when he's on We Are Tottenham TV, if he's still here. And it's a lovely little shop. Very, very relaxing, very chilled. I can't speak highly enough for the coffee. If you want to pick me up, definitely come here because it does the job. And it's just a lovely little Quaint coffee shop in a lovely bit of town. So get down here.
Absolutely.
And when I'm over there, I think February, coming over for the Tottenham game, I'm definitely coming down to your coffee shop, man. That is for sure.
Yeah, you definitely have to. It is unbelievable coffee, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Honestly, it really is. I love my coffee.
Eugene just saying 14 million was the payoff for Nuno. That is an awful lot of cash.
That's crazy. Apparently, we have no money.
No. For 4 months' work.
I'm paying off managers.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I don't feel sorry for managers when they get sacked. The payoffs are just astronomical.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But if you look, there's that post from Sky Sports, I think. The last 4 jobs Jose Mourinho got sacked on, he's made nearly £100 million.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's why
100 million.
So one of the guys in the back end who was there today, Sam, he's a Watford fan.
Yeah, Sam.
Yeah. And I was talking to him, I was like, do you reckon when they get to the point that Watford, like when they're looking for new managers, the guy would say, well, no, because I'm here for 3 months. Yeah. He's like, no, every manager will come to us because they know they're going to get this huge payoff when they get sacked after 4 months.
Managers, they care, but they don't care at the same time because they know they're still going to get paid regardless of that.
I think Conte cares. Conte looks like he cares anyway.
Yeah, Conte cares because he's in a stage of his career where he's in his prime and he knows that he can deliver silverware wherever he goes if they back him the right way. If the owners of the club back him the right way, he's going to deliver because of how talented he is as a coach. He's like the prime Jose Mourinho. Like with Jose Mourinho in his prime, he's like a kind of different version of Jose Mourinho. He's like he's kind of like Jose Mourinho in his prime, but in a different style, in a different way, and the way he is, the way how passionate he is different passionately as well. And I think that's why everyone is warming to him more and more and more. And when you listen to him, it's like he couldn't be more spot on every time the guy talks. Like you never disagree with what he says, and that's because he calls it for what it is in a way, and you can see the guy is a genius. Like just fucking leaving this just back in, and then we can actually win some trophies.
I can see Conte as a future Italian manager. That is for sure.
He's been the Italian manager.
As it, of course, he has. Sorry,
he was the one that started them off on the trajectory where they got to. And then what was then when he got the opportunity to Inter, he wanted to go back into club management, and then Mancini took over, and then he kind of took on. He continued with work that Conte did. Conte got him playing with belief again, right? And then when Mancini came in, he kind of just kept going, and he had the generation of players that he had to kind of do what he did in the Euros, and that's what he did, and that's where Mancini's continued it. But if Conte was still managing Italy, I'm sure he probably would have gone on to win the Euros, but he just wanted to go back into club management.
Yeah, no, I forgot he was manager of Italy. Had a brain fade there.
2014, I think, to 2015.
Yeah.
Problem is, the reason England lost the Euros is because of Tottenham Hotspur, because we beat Inter 6-0, which caused them to sack Mancini, which means they appointed Conte, which means that Mancini became the manager of Italy, and England lost the Euros. So Tottenham are the reason England was shit, basically.
I'm still looking for a reason why Ireland are not very good, but I haven't come up with one yet. I will come up with one. I blame Doherty. That's what I'm blaming. I blame Doherty.
I blame Doherty.
They've got no Robbie Keane.
No. We have, when we lost Robbie Keane, we haven't actually replaced him with a proper striker since.
No. Robbie Keane was class.
Yeah, we always had like Niall Quinn, Tony Cascarino, Robbie Keane. You know, we had all them, but
why is it still Tottenham boss Antonio Conte still waiting to speak to the club about transfer?
Yeah, that worries me a lot.
So why did you the as you know, I mean, I might as well talk about it on this subject. I plan to be at the training ground on the 14th of January if we hadn't signed anyone to start wreaking havoc. But the ENIC out group, which I retweeted yesterday, have decided not to protest in January because we could do a lot more damage to our cause than good by going crazy about backing when we don't give them the full month. People are very, very quick to jump on the Levy outers, saying, "Oh, look what he's done, he's changed." So we don't want to protest in January just because they'll go, "Well, you haven't given him time, you haven't given him this." But come January the 31st or February the 1st, if nothing has happened, you bet your bottom dollar we will be out in full effect. And all of this going on, it's whether it's like, as you said, Paratici doing his smoke screen or whatever, you can clearly see people making moves. Now we need to make moves, and we need to make them. And the whole thing about this is, with the month we've got coming up, 3 times Chelsea, 1 time the Filth, we need our players in quick. Not at the end of the month. We need them now.
Yeah.
We need them right now. It's looking like Dyer might be the one that's got COVID. So he might be isolated. If Regulon picks up an injury, if Emerson picks, there's no depth. We need players, and we need them now. Not the typical, let's wait 2 weeks and let's start making a move. Other teams are making a move. We have to start now, and all this is really starting to wind me up.
How would you feel if we made some signings, but they're ones that couldn't arrive till the summer?
It depends who they are. Like if someone said to me, and I'm just using this one because he's on the tip of all our tongues, and I'd love him to be at Spurs, but obviously Dusan Vlahovic, we know the rumours that have come out. If we were to get him right now, but he's staying till the end of the season, I will be doing cartwheels, and I can't even do cartwheels, down the street. I will be over the moon ecstatic. I want players. I want quality over quantity. I'd rather we get 1 or 2 in of absolute brilliant class, as opposed to 4 or 5 mediocre, maybe 1 good. This transfer window is correct the wrongs that have been done for a long time. I know a majority of our targets will get in the summer, and I understand that. But now, with a realistic chance of top 4, 2 games away from Wembley, possible FA Cup run, and maybe a Champions League run, especially if we win our games in hand, including the Burnley one, then we need to buy, and we need to buy now. So we shall see what happens.
I'll disagree that you can't do cartwheels. I'd say you just need 1 more coffee by the looks of it.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not going to try, because believe me, if I have 1 more now, Daniel will kick me out of the car on the North Circuit and be like, I just can't handle it. Get the fuck out. So yeah, but we've just got to make sure that this guy gets back. We've got to.
I mean, I'd be happy if he gets in 2 decent signings and then a few more for the summer. I think for me that'd be a successful January window. We've got to show some ambition. That's what we want to see. It's ambition.
I'll have a little plug for them. Not that they really need a plug. At 7 o'clock, the We Are Tottenham TV Spurs updates come out. Their daily thing that we did, and there's been a lot of players that have been linked from Italy. Now, I'm not Iggy is the one I always go to from Tottenham away whenever I need to have any news about Italian players, because he is like a Bible when it comes to that stuff. I don't know a lot about these Italian players, but for obvious reasons, there's these links, A, because of Conte being Italian and being a manager there, and all of his ex-players. So when it comes to these Italian players, I'm not too sure. I can't really say, yes, these are the class players, but we'll have to wait and see. This just needs to be, we need to start spending.
Yeah.
Just very quickly, just saying night to Eugene. He's off because it's 3 a.m. over there.
Good night, Eugene. Do you want to read this one out to Brian Coover? From
I
saw this man. Yeah, I saw him on Sean's channel earlier. So thank you for coming over, sir.
Yeah, good of you to join us. He's saying, just saw a report that if Levy doesn't give Conte the money he was promised, he will leave in February.
To me, he ain't leaving in February. If he doesn't get the money, this is my opinion, not obviously what. If he doesn't get back in February, he will call Levy out. He will call Levy out and make Levy squirm big time. But I reckon what will happen is, if it's the same in the summer, goodbye. See you later. Adios. Gone. And like I said, fortunately, in a really weird way, the Levy out people were in a win-win situation, because either he gets backed and finally we're listened to and Conte gets what he wants and we go on to glory, or he leaves and once again leaves a club like Mourinho, being the one club that he hasn't won something at, and then there are no other. If I find one more Levy in person, if Conte goes, because of lack of transfers and no trophies, if there's one person that sticks up for Levy, then you don't know what you're talking about. I mean, you don't know what you're talking about now, but yeah, he will walk in the summer. He will walk in the summer. I just can't see it in January, February.
Yeah, Eugene saying Conte can't lose face. No, he won't. Like Brian said, it's a win-win if you're a sort of alleviator, because if it does get to the point where complete failure in this January window, Conte's explosive outburst is going to be dynamite. It will be box office viewing, wouldn't it?
It will. Should we get through some of these comments here?
We better get through some comments. Yes, we had. Soul Taker saying, worst bit of news I've seen in ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll wait and see what happens, mate. But yeah, it would be terrible if that
I can't
happened.
see any manager coming in who's going to be better than what Conte.
Truth's asking where the source is for Soul Taker.
One of the best managers in the
Rumor
world.
mill. There will always be things like this going around.
Yeah, there will be.
Soul Taker, high tech. Oh, well,
Sorry.
I see. High tech or something like that was called.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I know the channel, mate. Craig Bowler, I couldn't find anything on the rumor Nuno is joining the academy. Wasn't that long ago John Dermott left, and we underwent restructuring of the academy. Dean Rustrick oversees everything with Chris. Chris Powell, is it? Chris Powell? Yeah, Chris Powell is it.
I don't rate any of the guys. I don't rate any of them.
True History, another Dermot, Craig, WTF, we are everywhere. Another Dermot, yes, of course. Catman Jet said, Dermot, I forgot to mention I watched the Commitments the other night. It was a hilarious movie. I loved it.
Yeah, you need to watch the van and then the snipper. You need to watch them too. They're all from the same books. And also, what other one? Watch Michael Collins and Veronica Gearing. And
one of the first points come back. One
start with the Commitments trilogy. Get round to rest. Yeah. Catman just saying, what did Evil Knievel want? God sent him. I love that line.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And Catman just played with Stevie Wonder. He was just 11 half miles off. Eugene saying, oh yeah, that's it, saying goodbye because it was late. Craig Bowler's coming up with.
Oh, that's from the Commitments. Yeah, he played for Stevie Wonder. Yeah, I get that line out. That was from the Commitments. That's a great film. You ever watched that film, Brian?
Say again?
You ever watched the Commitments?
Yeah, I have, but I want to just tackle something that Craig Bowler has just said.
Yeah, do you want to get it back up for you again?
Is that the one we're just getting into, or?
No, there's one of the last comments where he goes, he doesn't think I know what I'm talking about. I think you find that I do, Craig. You may disagree,
yeah,
mate. I appreciate all your comments and contributions toward the group. But if you check over the last 21 years, the last year and a half when I've been coming on YouTube, I've pretty much got every single decision right when it's come to the club. Listen, feel free to give me feedback and whatever. Don't get personal, mate. It's just not worth it. And like I said, mate, I know what I'm on about. And I have a few fair people in the comments backing me up on what I say. So
I will say, can I just say something here? I would trust Brian 100% whatever that man says. He's put a lot of work into the Levy Out group, him and other people as well. I suppose like Danny and everyone there, they do know what they're talking about. And I don't think it's fair. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, Craig. So I don't want if you
actually quite that. Craig is very good.
Oh, sorry, I'll be right back. Just 1 second, Dermot.
I don't dispute that. It's like
Craig is very good.
I've never disputed that. So as you are, I mean, like I said, I don't get personal. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. I've got all the knowledge that I've had over the last 21 years, all the evidence is there for 21 years, and obviously doing what I do and coming on air. I'm not saying that I just. And but the only time that I've been proven wrong with Levy was with Conte, and I've got the tattoo to prove it. Oh, and look who's just come on the stream.
Oh,
just
no.
Yeah, it's Sean. How are you, Sean?
Oh, no. We're not leaving.
So all I was going
Craig, I just 1 second, Craig. I'm gonna cut this now because what I actually said is if Conte walks, there can't be a Levy in person that can't see it's not Levy. And then I said, if anyone from Levy in after Conte walks still thinks Levy is the right man, then you must be wrong.
Well,
Well, my word.
Why don't we ask them? Why don't we ask Levy's son?
Yeah.
Hey, whoa! I looked at my phone. I haven't listened to a word of this debate. I've literally just popped in and heard, "Oh, it's Craig, Brian." So I have no idea what the conversation's been. I feel like I've walked into a minefield here. What's going on?
Now, all I'm going to say is that everyone. I just want. Sorry, Brian.
I think, whatever, Craig, or whatever. I can't afford to go back and forth over something so petty. I basically said that if Conte walks, I didn't say Conte is walking. I didn't predict he's walking. I didn't say he's walking. I said he might walk in the summer if he's not backed in January and not backed in the summer, as he's done with Chelsea, as he's done with Inter. And I said, if Conte walks and we haven't won a trophy and he's not backed, all the Levianers have got to see and realise what the problem is. And if people don't realise what the problem is, then surely they must be wrong, because it'll be clear as day after Mourinho and Conte.
Yeah, it'll be very difficult to hold a credible sort of pro-Levy stance at that point.
Yeah.
It really would be difficult.
He has come back at you here, Brian. I will bring them up so to get this sort of. Yeah, all I want to say is,
and if I've said something out of turn, I apologise, because what I've just said is what I meant to say. So if I've missed it, if it's come over wrong, then for that part I apologise. But yeah, like I said, I stand by if Conte walks, if Levy doesn't back him and he doesn't win a trophy, that this whole divide seriously has to swing solely in the Levy out favour.
Yeah, 99 to 1%, 100%. Like even like staunch Levy inners will see that this is the. Like This is Levy's last appointment. If he gets it right, fine. And then he can give everything to Paratici for the person that comes after Conte when he eventually leaves to build up. But if Conte walks and Tottenham haven't won any trophies, Levy needs to go 1,000% every day, because then it's no longer a football club. You've got to have football people in charge of football decisions, and if Levy steps in the way of another football person, he's got to go.
Because it actually defeats the object of even bringing in Paratici in the first place, and someone like Conte, who's, let's say, he's in the top 4 or 5 managers in the world.
I think he's in the top 2.
Yeah, I think he's in the top 3. I think you'd probably say it's probably Pep, Klopp, and then him.
Chelsea fans would say he's in the top 1, and that shows how much they rate him.
Yeah, I'd say he's done more than Tuchel has. Tuchel's only won in France and obviously won Champions League, but what Conte's done is unbelievable considering the actual turnaround he's done at all the clubs he's been at. He took a Chelsea team who finished 10th, right, to win the league. He took an Inter team that was like 10th to win the league, and now let's see what he can do with us. But and he had like kind of a bit of backing. He didn't have obviously with Lukaku it was his biggest signing, but other than that, if you look at the actual signings and players that they sold, he actually did very well with what he did with the money that he was given.
Against a Juventus team with Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly.
He scored 100 goals.
And he was exactly. So I think if we don't win a big trophy with Conte, then it's only one man to blame, and that is Daniel Levy, because you cannot say anything else, because you've got like everything in place that any top club or any club trying to aspire to be a top club has got, right, with someone like him. And you've got one of the best stadiums in the world, you've got the best training grounds, you've got a top director of football, you've got a top elite manager. The only thing you need now is the fucking top squad, and to do that you have to buy players. It's as simple as that. There's no other logic behind it. If you don't buy the top players or top youngsters, you're not gonna achieve what you want to achieve. So they have to back him and get the players that he wants and get out the players that he wants out, and then we can see what we can really achieve. And if we don't achieve anything because they don't back him in the right way, or they back him kind of half-heartedly like Levy's done with every fucking manager we've had, then it's as simple as Levy's got to go. He's never going to change. And every Spurs fan should see that we fail to win anything under Conte.
Just quickly saying, cheers for Soul Taker. He was just saying, sorry to sub and leave, but dinner isn't going to cook itself. That's fair enough, mate.
And can I also say to Aaron, it was the snapper, not the snipper. It was the snapper. That was the other film out of them 3 books that they did the commitments, the van, and then the snapper, which was a brilliant. The third one.
To Craig, I'll also say, personally, I thought Brian did put it in context. It's what he was saying earlier, but it's okay. I know Brian's respectful to all Spurs fans anyway. Generally speaking, and I know you are as well, Craig. Sometimes we get a bit heated when we're talking about different things.
I tell you one thing though, I have never met a more fairer fan about the Levy in and out debate than Brian. He listened to everyone's comments and doesn't decide the event you're on. Brian will always listen to it, think about it, and give a proper response, which is big up to Brian. We know Craig on one side.
Verify that as well.
Yeah.
Me?
Yeah, your name's Sean, isn't it?
Oh, sorry. The fact that the audio cut out, there was 2 people. You say me? Yeah, 100%.
That old chestnut, yeah.
Brian, listen, mate. I love you to pieces, bro. I think, and I love Craig as well. I think Craig brings. I don't know what's happening in the debate. I haven't listened to a word of it. I literally came on and then just saw everyone. Saw the last 2 minutes. So I don't know what's been said. But yeah, Brian, you're always more than fair with me, and I'm not staunchly Levy-in. I've always said I'd give him a 7.5 out of 10, and I've also always said there's three strikes and you're out, and one of those strikes would be if I'm picking up what I think I'm picking up. Brian, your point is if Conte leaves, then it's Levy's fault, and the only reason that he would leave, speculative, is because he hasn't been backed. If he was promised he'd be backed, right?
Correct. Yeah. Correct.
So if that's the case, then that is one of my strikes, 100%. Like if he promised Conte money to spend and it's not there, or he reneges, if he does any of his we'll see what happens, gentleman's agreement. If any of that shit happens and it results in Conte leaving, then 100%. I'm coming down the spectrum. I also think, I don't know what Craig's debate the point was, but I also think there are variables you have to figure out, right? Like at the end of in a scenario where we don't sign anybody that's good enough to appease Spurs fans, we have to look at certain other considerations. And before I say what they are, I'll just throw out an example. A lot of people always mention Jack Grealish as a coulda been, that Tottenham could have signed and didn't pay up the additional 5 bar when he was playing for Villa in the Championship. The variable there to consider is nobody paid the additional money. There were 19 other clubs in the Premier League, all of whom knew what Jack Grealish was, whether he was good enough or not. Nobody paid the 5 million more. He stayed at Aston Villa for another 6 years until he eventually went for 100 million to Man City. And every day he looks more and more like a future Dele Alli in getting his head turned. So there's a variable when people say, well, Levy didn't sign Jack Grealish. Nobody signed Jack Grealish, right? So, and it might turn out to be, and then the last thing I'll say is the variables with this year will be, let's reflect and see if other teams who are around our level of financial wherewithal, like it's one thing if we go after Vlahovic, but Chelsea go and pay 150 million. Like it's one thing if we go after Kessie, but Man City pay the guy 800 grand a week. It's another thing if we you have to consider what the outcomes are before you slap a Levy fail on it. If other clubs, if Everton go and buy a classy player for money that we can afford and a wage that we can, and Everton do it and Levy doesn't because Levy doesn't want to pay a couple extra million, then I'm more than happy to throw stones. But you have to wait and see what happens, and you have to also think about the context and the variables. But just to summarize, Daigle, if he reneges on promises, I'm 100% going to slide way down that scale.
This is what I said just before you came. I wanted to start protesting January the 14th if we hadn't signed anyone. But after speaking with the Levy out people that I'm affiliated with and whatever, they have decided, or we had a vote and it came up and they said, listen, this could do more damage than good protesting during the transfer window because obviously he hasn't had the whole month. So and it could put it could put petrol or could dampen our momentum. It could dampen what we stand for. So we're not doing anything during the January transfer window to give him that time. But come it be a failure, I agree with you to a certain extent on the transfer window, what you're saying about Everton this and Everton that. But what we need to do, I'm not even about that. We have money that we can spend. And the thing is, we need, with a possible top 4 place, with results going our way, possibly being in the final of the Carabao Cup, we need to spend in January to make up for and I don't mean a complete £300 splurge. I mean, we need a couple of players to help Conte out because of years of mismanagement and years of, like, I keep using it. David Harris does this one. And David Harris, I use this one every single time because nothing could describe it better. Sell Carl Walker for 50 million. And rather than buying a right back of class to take over him, we weaken ourselves and buy 3 or 4 right backs that have cost more than 50 million now because we have to do things on the cheap because that's what we do. We need to buy certain players in certain positions, like a Christian Eriksen-esque, and we have to spend big. And I don't mean 150. I mean, not just one for the future. We need someone that can come in and do something to put a band-aid over the years of mismanagement.
Yeah, I agree. It's just identifying those players, and I don't think that Daniel Levy is the one whose job that is. I think that Daniel Levy has a conversation with, hopefully he's already had, with Paratici, whatever his name is, and says, this is the budget, right? Spend it how you want. Let me know what you want to do. And Paratici and Conte and the coaches and the scouts get together and figure that out. And like I said, like I've always said, Daniel Levy hasn't not spent. He spent poorly, and he's hired poorly. He's hired bad managers. He's hired bad coaching teams. He's hired bad directors of football, and he's certainly hired bad scouts. And that's where I'd happily throw the mud at him for not sacking those people quickly enough. But in terms of figuring out whether Ndombele was a £60 million flop or a £60 million superstar, I don't think you can throw that at Daniel Levy. I think you throw that at the people that... I don't think you can, mate. Daniel Levy doesn't watch the French leagues. Daniel Levy doesn't know
because
that.
Hang on, Sean. I'm not trying to interrupt you. I've sat here very quietly and said nothing. Right, so I don't want to get into another argument. All right.
No arguments today.
Who hired Hitchen?
Yeah, that's what. Okay, I take that point. But that's as far as the mud throw goes, right?
You can.
It's not Daniel Levy's fault. It's not Daniel Levy's job to look at the French leagues and figure out whether Ndombele's an angry, unhappy person.
Well, he should do his job of hiring the director of football to do the job right.
Correct. I'll take that. I'll take that point.
Yeah, should we get through some of these comments here, Coof?
Let's go.
You still there, Cooper?
Yeah, no, I'm just listening. It's good. It's good.
I just said to Cooper, quietly, I was going to send a message to Cooper. I'm quite happy sitting back and watching this go. This is brilliant.
I was watching the game a bit and thinking, I wouldn't mind Garth Crooks in the team right now.
I know. I actually have got a bit of breaking news.
Yeah, no, I know.
The Liverpool have where is it now? It was there. Liverpool have formally requested their League Cup semi-final to be postponed because of COVID. So that's the one on. Is it? When did they play? Tomorrow. Yeah. They have now officially asked for that game to be. We're playing tomorrow, aren't we? So when
we are playing tomorrow. We're playing tomorrow
against the Filth.
No, we're playing against
Chelsea. So it's a Liverpool game tonight then.
My eyes. I'm looking at Craig's comments about decent players might not come in January. This is
hang on, Ben. Yeah, I'm just. We played Liverpool's games tonight, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thursday.
Is it Thursday?
Thursday.
Is
not
it?
Tonight. Thursday.
All right. Well, they've formally requested for that game to be postponed. So that's the little bit of breaking news. And also, thank you very much to Alan for donation to the channel. It's very kind of you. We really appreciate it. So thank you very much indeed. Go on, Ben.
You just scooch my way in.
I've got to very quickly say one very quick thing.
When it comes to
Ben,
might not come in January from Craig Bowler, it's now Levy's prerogative to move heaven and earth to get Vlahovic and Kessié. we can spend £400 million without breaking financial fair play. And we need these players now to go for top 4, which will get us £150 million this year and potential extra TV money from playing in the Champions League. This is someone who is almost very pro-Levy and anti-Levy at the same time. I will give him his credit and I will also slate him. I critique him. Yeah. We must sign these players, otherwise he will leave. It's just, if we want Conte to be here, he's got to be backed. He has to be backed now. There is a very good chance Vlahovic wants to move. Vlahovic's agent wants to move. Go and fucking get him. Excuse my French, but get him.
Yeah, mind your language, Ben.
It's just that we have to get him. Messier is available on 20 million.
Yeah. Yeah, listen, I'm in complete agreement with you, Ben, and with Brian on that point. Like, January is a big window. We need 2-3 players in. We need a couple of players out, make things happen, you know. But I still think you have to wait until February the 1st before you cast stones. Is all I'll say. Sorry, Cooper, you wanted to say something, didn't you?
Yeah, go on, Keith. You want to say something, sir?
Oh, it's just a minor little dabbling point about the actual game we're watching.
Yeah.
Not that there was a period of play just a few minutes ago where about 5 tackles flew in quick succession, and I was just thinking, you know what? If that was today's game, that would have been 5 sendings off. Back then, it's just they just carried on. It was just awesome to watch. But never mind.
That was.
Should we get through some of these comments here, Coof? Because they have been backed enough a little bit.
To add one thing as well, I think what Sean's alluded to as well, which I do agree with, right, is that you have to wait until the summer window as well, because the January window is always a difficult one, and we'll see what they're gonna try. But I think where we're probably gonna see the most business done is in the summer, and I think that's when you can fully judge what Levy's idea is with Conte being at the helm, and seeing where we are and what his ambition is for this club with Conte there. I think in the summer you're going to really find out what he believes this club should be, right? If he's not backed in January and not backed in the summer, then for me he's got to go.
Look, also, I'll just say very quickly, if you look back in the past, money talks in January.
Yeah, of course.
Torres to Chelsea, 50 million, January. Suarez to Liverpool, January. Andy Carroll, all right, he's not to Liverpool, January. If you pay the money, these players will come. And if they can dangle the carrot, the top 4 is a distinct possibility with Tottenham Hotspur, which right now it is. Mathematically, it is.
Chelsea.
Exactly. With our games in hand, we are in the top 4. And it's like players will come, but what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to give them extra money or give the club extra money to get them out. And because of years of mismanagement, this is what he's going to have to do. And this is when you got someone like Conte. Like, if we still had Nuno, it ain't happening.
Yeah, never.
It ain't happening. But the Conte pool is there. If you hear a manager and it's like, you can go play for Antonio Conte at Tottenham Hotspur in the new stadium with a possibility of top 4, with a possibility of being in a League Cup final, players will be like, do you know what? It's attractive. I'm interested. I understand people like Kessie, Craig, that could win a title at Milan. Might not want to come, but the deal is ready to be done for 8.5 for the summer. Also, 8.5 million is within our budget. It can be done. Wages can be done.
Also, I think as well, what I've seen from the Vlahovic rumours all around from Twitter and all the news reports, that it looks like they're going to try getting now, but if they can't, it looks like they're going to try do like a pre-agreement deal for the summer, right? So let's see what happens with that one. I think it's like a watch this space kind of thing, see what happens. Because if they don't get him now, I think no Spurs fan would oppose to them doing a pre-agreement, say, summer he's guaranteed to come to Spurs.
Sign those 2, and we're on a title challenge next year.
100%. And then you get another top centre-back, and you're laughing.
I'd rather sign 2, like a Kessie and a Vlahovic on pre-contract signing there coming in the summer,
100%.
than buy randoms right now.
That's what could happen, which a lot of Spurs fans will get behind that. And a lot of Spurs players as well in that squad will also try and keep the performance levels up, knowing that there's going to be a Vlahovic and a Kessie coming into this squad. They know that if they don't keep up their performances, they're out in the summer. As simple as that.
So you'd be happy with so all of you in the chat there on the panel, you'd all be happy with 0 incoming players this January, as long as there were several high-profile signings that were guaranteed to come in June.
I would be annoyed, but I'd be happy because I know that they're coming in the summer. But the only difference is if they don't come, if no one comes in now, then you've got or any good players that come in now, you've got the risk of missing out on that Champions League.
Yep.
Which obviously does affect it, right?
Yeah.
But then at least you know that next season we're going to give it a go in the league and we're going to have the squad to do it as well.
I've said sure.
So I'd definitely be happy because I know we've got Conte.
I've said all along.
Cool.
If we only get Vlahovic this summer, whether it be he comes now or he comes in the summer, I will be absolutely ecstatic. I don't care if anyone else comes in, knowing that he comes in the summer. I will be over the goddamn moon.
But that deal needs to be done in January. Otherwise, you're protesting February 1st, right?
Well, not just him. Basically, it depends if I'm still here. If we have another window where come the transfer deadline day, there's been no movement, all these talks are, and I know what's going to happen. We'll start putting bids in. Let's say for Vlahovic, because right now you'll see on the Tottenham Hotspur up there, We Are Tottenham. Vlahovic came out and said his comments yesterday, saying he wants to get Fiorentina back into Europe, and I've said it on record. I am over the moon with the maturity and respect that guy has shown Fiorentina, and not down in tools. What he's doing at a young age, I commend it. I think it's brilliant. But what we're saying, if he doesn't come, or if we get to January 31st and no one is doing anything, and it's like, again, like I said, on the Tottenham Hotspur update, Vlahovic came out and said these comments. Today, it's rumoured that we are working hard to try and get the deal done. And this is a typical Levy strategy where he'll offer, where someone's 70 and he'll go 50. Oh, look, we tried. We just couldn't agree a deal. That's not what I'm here for. I am, and I'm not speaking on behalf of Levy out. I don't know when I'm going back to Canada just yet. If we go this window where 100 million war chest was promised at one point, and we're going to strengthen the team, and then another window comes and nothing happens. Let's just say we go and sign some utility players that aren't of the kind of standard we need or want. You're damn right I'm going to be vocal. You're goddamn right I'm going to be vocal. We are giving him the respect of this month to show what he's going to do to back Conte.
I respect that.
That month.
I respect that,
mate. He doesn't back it, then why should we stay quiet again?
But also, going back to your comment,
I agree.
We bought 3 right backs that for like 60 million, whether it's Emerson or Aurier, Trippier. Just buy a fucking Lamptey for 50 million quid. He's worth every penny. Just get the one specialist right back you need instead of buying 4 nobodies. Just buy the one the manager.
He's so small, Ben. He's so small. I worry about his height.
He done to Marcus Alonso the other day. He was so quick that Marcus Alonso tried to foul him, and he still missed.
Yeah. I just worry about his height at the back post.
James as well.
Sure, what I would say to you when you say he's so small, I have 2 words for you. N'Golo Kante.
Best player in the world.
Yeah, but Kante's not a right wing back. You need defence at the back post.
What about Roberto Carlos? He was a small player.
All I'm saying, boys, is I worry. I think that a right wing back for me.
Nobby Styles.
Fuck.
Jermaine Defoe.
No, I just want a right wing back for me. It needs to be an all rounder. It's like a cricketer that can bat, bowl, and field. A right wing back and a left wing back needs to be super fast, super stamina, tall, defend on both foot, shoot on their inside foot, cross on their outside foot. They need to be the absolute all rounder, and Lamptey is close to it. No, but he's not. I just worry about being able to defend the back post with the header. That's what I'm saying.
You have to look at what's out there, right? And the one player who you could say is who would probably do a lot better than what Emerson is doing is probably Lamptey, right? Because if you've got Romero back in there and you bring in another left-sided centre-back, who I'm sure when they do bring one in, he's going to be a tall centre-back, right? You're going to have 3 people who are very good in the air, tall, who are defenders, right? And when you've got a back 3 and you've got Harry Kane in the back who's defending, if you're going to have, say for example, you have a Kessié, when you're defending set pieces, you're going to have tall players there. So you're not necessarily relying on him, right, on a Lamptey to defend set pieces.
Yeah.
The idea of Lamptey being there as a right wing back is so that he's predominantly attacking, which is what Conte wants him for, what Conte wants a right wing back to do. Is not to do. Is obviously they have to be able to defend, right? But then the characteristics, if they don't have the ability, like with the height to jump and stuff, then they have to utilise what they do have to make them more going forward.
I take your point. It's just Tottenham fans are so. Oh, sorry, go on.
I'm going to jump in on one point here quickly.
Which I don't know why no one went for it. Was Dumfries, right? He's got everything. He's got the height. He's got the skill. He's got the strength. He's like a better Emerson that can cross, and he was cheaper.
So I want to jump in on one point.
I'm going to say something, and I'm going to bring up.
Poor
again,
Coover.
I'm going to bring up.
Poor Coover. I haven't said nothing at all. I'm sat here being quiet.
I bring up a comment by Craig Bowler, and I stand exactly. He said exactly the damn right thing, and this is another point for this transfer window, which is about getting players out. When I say getting players out, I don't mean just getting. We're going to find out a lot this transfer window with. Is it going to be Levy demanding the high fees, or is Conte going to be allowed, if he gets a fee like, let's say, a 30 million for Ndombele, he's allowed to say, get them out, so I've got that 30 million to reinvest. I've said it all along.
That's 20 million extra with no wages.
Exactly. So this is a pivotal. We're all talking about players in, which is obviously what we as fans really desperately want. But Craig's right, players out is a huge aspect of this, and the huge aspect of this part is, like I said, is it going to be Daniel Levy hankering for the high prices like he tried with the Sissoko, like he's tried with other players? Like the rumour that we said on We Are Tottenham TV today is apparently they want 20 million for Roden. And I'm like, how the fuck has he gone up?
He's not going to go to Newcastle.
Yeah, but it's like, how the hell can we start charging 6 million more? I can understand if he played and started doing well. No. This guy's hardly played, hardly done anything, and we're trying to get 6 million more. Now, I'm sorry, unless Newcastle come in with flexing their pecs with the money they've got, you're not.
No, but I don't believe that rumour. Why would Newcastle buy a player that hasn't proven himself at the Premiership and he's no better than what they already have? They've already got. All right, all right.
But what we've got to do is we've got to see this month. Is Conte allowed to get players out of the fees where he can recoup and do stuff?
Yeah.
Or is it again going to be the astronomical inflated prices that we know who will set and will screw us?
It's vulnerable.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll wait and see. Kuba, you're desperate to.
Can we get also through these comments as well?
We will, Dermot. I'm just making a quick point about Lamptey being small. Franco Baresi is one of the greatest players, if not arguably the greatest defender that's ever lived, and he was only 5'9".
Yeah. But our team is small, mate. We need more height, not less height. You know, we got nobody in the team that's above 6'2".
Yeah, but I wouldn't worry about it at wing back. That's all I'm saying.
Fair enough. Yeah.
It's not. It's just.
And I've been saying. And I've been saying for a while too about Lamptey. I've been a great admirer of his now for a long while, and I think he'd be a great addition to Tottenham. Personally.
Yeah, I think the extra pace in the team is worth more than the extra height in the team in that position.
Fair enough.
But then you have a defensive right wing back in Emerson, who's pretty decent at defending from what we've seen, and then you'd have one of the best attacking right backs in the Premier League, and then you can switch as strength and depth.
I'd rather go for that guy from Ajax, Nusa Mazraoui.
Yeah.
But we know Lamptey's Premier League proven. We need proven players for positions.
Yeah.
Like we can't buy another Dutch league player who's
fair enough. Good point.
Steve Bergwijn and stink the place out, or another Vincent Janssen.
About my Bergwijn.
I have a little bit of breaking Chelsea. I have a little bit breaking about Chelsea's place going to be missing for Chelsea tomorrow.
Who is?
That'll be box office.
Who is Dermot?
Sorry, Ben. What were you saying, Ben?
I was going to say Kaufman versus Daigle fight is going to be box office.
Yeah. We've got a couple of players here that are not actually included in expect to be missing tomorrow for Chelsea. It's Mendy, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Christian, and Wiener. They're all expected to be missing for Chelsea against us tomorrow night. So I don't know what that's all about.
What about the murderer? The murderer missing?
No, he's playing. So no, basically, so we did the update yesterday with a great guy from one of the Chelsea channels, Lewis, who despises that player, thinks he's awful. Since Chilwell, they do not have another left back. So Alonso, unless he's picked up an injury or picks up COVID or whatever, he will be starting. They are missing, and they're also missing Reece James. So listen, we're going to Chelsea. When there's trouble in paradise, let's say, within the dressing room because of Lukaku. There's tension within that team. They're missing Reece James and Chilwell, who, if you look at it, have been on fire. When they were playing, Chelsea were a machine that were just going through. They've got some other big players out. Apparently, they might be rotating. They're going to the bridge right now. There's never been a better time to play them so far for us.
The problem with Alonso is he always turns up against us and always scores a free kick.
Yeah. Well, the Mirror is saying Edouard Mendy, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Christensen.
I
know it's fun, but all those players, Reece James, Ben Chilwell, Christensen, Timo Werner, all out.
Well, Timo Werner is probably a blessing for them.
Right, Dermot, we better get through some of the chat you're saying.
Yeah, because it really is backing up here. I mean,
we ruined the stream, sorry.
No, you're grand. It's been a pleasure having you on.
It's good debates going on. Love it.
Saying, if Levy doesn't...
Can I ask a question, guys?
Yeah.
Would you guys take Eriksen back for 6 months on a 6-month contract?
No.
No, he's got to look after his family. I don't want to see him die on White Hart Lane.
Still, listen, I won't, because of the way he acted when he left. And mate, you got to remember, his insurance will be through the goddamn roof.
Yeah.
And we find he'll find a player. So
I'd bring him back on a pay-as-you-play basis.
Oh well, like Darren Anderton.
Yeah.
I'd do that.
I don't want to see a player die in White Hart Lane. No, the Mwamba thing was hard enough.
But subject to him passing all relevant medicals and all that stuff, I still bring him back on a pay-as-you-play, even if you can get 5 games a year out of him and he's happy to do it. I'd take that. I'd do that.
1% chance is too high risk.
If you bring him, so like he's not a starter. He's a great player to have as an impact sub on the bench.
So he can have a corner, hit the first man, and
yeah.
Listen, what I'm about to say is going to be very, very harsh, but I mean it from a very, very good place. So if he comes and plays as he did before he left, and that could be through no fault of his own because of his health or whatever, not because he's down in tools, everyone will be like, oh, it's Christian Eriksen, oh, his heart, he's got a problem, let's get...
Yeah.
And I don't want that for him. Yeah, listen, he left, he was a great player for us apart from the last 18 months. And one of the things Tottenham Hotspur we have a problem with
sentiment
is exactly that. True. It's the sentiment. Oh, let's bring him back because he was good for us, or oh, I love him, let's not give him a heart. No, I wish Christian Eriksen every bit of success in whatever he does for the rest of his career, whether he goes into coach. Would I want him back in some kind of coaching setup? Abso-fucking-blood-a-loo.
Okay, what about then if Arsenal's back in mind?
They won't. Insurance is too high.
No, but if they did, would you rather not see him go to Spurs?
Dermot, don't rush through them. Don't rush through them, mate. I'd like to go through some.
No, that's all right. I'm doing this. I've done it now.
No, but
you're going a little bit too quickly on some. There's not enough time.
I couldn't even read them.
Oh well, never mind.
Oh.
There you go. Dawned on you. We're all up to date. Just the conversation was so good, I didn't want to interrupt all of you, so I thought I'd just do that.
We're going to struggle to fit it all in, that's for sure.
I'm sorry, you've never had us three in the same room before. It's like we're trying to get everything out in the open.
I don't know. We've got 24 people watching. It's like our stream's gone through the roof tonight. I'm sitting back here like a millionaire. Just carry on.
We're going to talk about Only Fools and Horses soon. It's going to be great.
No. The sexiest male cartoonists.
One thing I do want to say, and I'm just going to stand up just so it's... listen, Craig, listen. We had a little debate. I don't mean... If I said anything that went the wrong way, I did not mean it. I never, ever get personal, mate. I see you in all the channels. I appreciate you big time because you're always with us as well. You came up with one of the greatest comments ever on my show when you said that the Newcastle, the woman owner looks like Chitara from Thundercats, which still to me is the greatest comment I've ever seen on the comments. And Craig, I really, if we got our wires crossed, I just want to say I really apologise. I didn't mean to say if I said something wrong, I can't, whatever it was, I can't remember what it is I would have said. But I didn't mean it personal against you or anything. It's obviously, people know when we get on a certain subject, I have Tourette's, and sometimes my mouth runs away from my heart and my brain. So if I said anything to offend you, I really do apologise from my part.
Big up, Brian. That's awesome. I don't know what you guys said. I'm going to have to go back and watch the start
I
of this
have to do the same, Sean. I don't even know what I said.
No, but I mean, I don't even know what was said by anybody. I only just joined in, but I'd like to go back and watch it.
I can give you the gist of it. At one point, Brian was saying anybody that's still basically Levy in doesn't know what they're talking about. The thing is, what got missed was before that, he qualified the statement by saying, if this goes wrong in January and we fail to back Conte and it goes on into the summer and Conte ends up walking out because of Daniel Levy again, it's going to be very difficult for anybody that's pro-Levy at the moment to still be able to say they've got a valid argument for pro-Levy.
I'd agree with that. As long as I can pick the peanuts out of the poo. As long as there's legitimate ability to analyse what happened, why didn't it happen, did other clubs that we're competing with do better than us that we could have done? As long as there's context, and the answer is still Levy could have done more. Conte left because he didn't. I'm 100%, and I'm probably further right than Craig is on the Levy in spectrum. So I'll happily whip down towards you, Brian. So,
Sean, you know what? Honestly, I've got many accomplishments, but if I manage to get you to me, that will be. I will go. Do you know what? That's it. I've done. I've arrived. It's done. That'll be it.
Listen, I'm happy to. I wear my heart on my sleeve. I'm happy to take contrarian points. I know Craig is as well, and I'm happy to eat my words when I'm wrong. And like I say, pending all developments going the way that you've said, as long as the context doesn't give any excuses, then I'm happy. I'll happily say, sorry guys, on this one. You know what? You're right. I was wrong. Daniel Levy is the dickhead that you've all said he is. You know. So.
Right. Just very quickly, I'm going to have to pop off. I've sent you why in the private comments there, Cliff. So enjoy the rest of the show, everyone. And I'll see you back later in the morning at 11:30.
No problem at all, mate. You take care, Donald.
We better start making a motion.
Oh God, that fan, that noise, that.
Over at the wheel. Right.
It's like the airplane engine's just been turned off, and suddenly we've got the cockpit's a bit quieter. You know, after you get out of an airplane.
I'm going to crack open the rum. Who's up for an 8-hour stream?
Wow.
I'd like to say Craig as well. Craig, as I'll keep saying as well, to Craig Bowler, he and I disagree on so many things, but I'm really pleased when he's on the stream as well, because it always brings up so many points that I wouldn't be thinking about. And if we're all talking the same language, it's just been in an echo chamber. That doesn't do a lot for anybody. It's good to keep your opinions flowing and take on board other people's viewpoints.
Oh, completely. I mean, I'll give you a little press release. I mean, David Harris is trying to be getting a show of Can Nicky Answer Me or David Harris Answer Me with me and Sean. Ever since Sean first came on the pump up and started going for David. And literally, it was meant to be the week that I flew home because of Bob. Then the week after, obviously, it hasn't been able to because of Bob. And I even turned around to David. I spoke to David, I think it was Christmas Day or around Christmas Day. And I said, listen, I don't think we should do it till after the transfer window because Levy could do a lot of good. Doubt it, from my point. But there's no point doing it during the transfer window where we're like, yeah, what if, but maybe. Wait till the end of the transfer window. So that's why we're doing it. I mean, me and Sean get on very, very well. We talk away from all these streams as well occasionally. And we will have this debate. And Sean, when I hear him speak, Sean goes a lot into the financial side, which I look at, but like I always say, I don't support Monopoly FC. I support Tottenham Hotspur FC, and I don't really care how many hotels and skyscrapers and whatever we build on. But that's why this debate between Sean and I hasn't happened, because I'm giving him that month. And then don't get me wrong, if that month goes my way, Sean's never going to. He's going to be like, oh,
This is why I wanted to get it done beforehand.
The Coffin is more influential than Mr. Harris. Coffin has got this debate going.
Always dangerous to have a debate on pure speculation, isn't it? It's
Okay. So I've just seen a comment coming from. I'm sorry for hijacking the show just a little bit here, but Rich Vise has just put in the comments any update on Bob Spur. I don't know why I'm standing up all the time like I'm in Parliament.
No, you're in
So,
the Are we looking east?
So I'll do the immediate in a second. Update on Bob is basically nothing.
Let the Prime Minister speak. Let the Prime Minister speak there.
We'll do that together. Update on Bob is so I basically said on We Are Tottenham TV, Bob is having huge problems when he's on his back, as it's been said many times. When he's on his stomach, his dependency on the oxygen on the ventilator rockets down because it's relieving the pressure off his lungs. The second he gets turned onto his back, it up and down, up and down, up and down. And we had some positive last night, or they were telling us this morning, that on his back, his oxygen started or went down to as low as 55. But by this time in the morning, it skyrocketed back up to 75. Because if we look at it, he got diagnosed with he got diagnosed with COVID or tested positive for COVID 2 days after his father's passing, so December the 3rd. So here we are. He's been basically he's come for 3 weeks in hospital, a month since COVID. So I don't think he's actually got COVID anymore. But obviously, I can't say that I'm not a doctor. I haven't seen him, whatever. But we know COVID is normally a couple of weeks or whatever. But what he can't shake is the goddamn pneumonia. They had to do what they did beforehand was test on his heart, because people may know or may not know Bob had open heart surgery early part of last year, 2021, and also caught pneumonia. So they did a test on that. They did a test on his chest, and they came back, from what we've been told, okay. Now, we were waiting for the doctors. Now, I hate the bit I'm about to say. When Tammy, who is Bob's ex, called the hospital today, they said, seeing that it's been a bank holiday weekend and whatever, there's been hardly any doctors in the hospital, which blows my goddamn brain when they say this. Now, I know they're overrun for COVID, but it's like you're out of doctors in a hospital. I mean, what, of all places not to be. So Tammy has just messaged me. I mean, they said they'll get round to him today, and they'll get back to us. And Tammy just called them, and they said they're now doing the handover for the night staff. We knew it may be later on that the doctors see him, but it's when they say the doctors are going to come around, they're either snowed under or they're just not getting back to us. And I want to think it's the first one, because if it's the latter, I'll do my goddamn head in. But at the moment, it's very, very much the same, Rich. We're hoping every day we get a bit more positive news. Like yesterday when we heard his oxygen was down to 55, we're like, yes. And then they said, but, and we're like, oh, shit. So he is still fighting, and he is, believe me, he asked to be in this medically induced coma again, because when he was awake, he was using so much energy staying awake and breathing and eating and just doing what we all take for granted every day right now. Like all of what we're doing, just sitting here talking on a stream or eating or having a shout, all this energy that we expend, we take for granted. It's just standard. He couldn't even lie down on a bed and have something to eat without it causing complications. So he asked to medically go back on there so he can put mind, body, soul, and every single bit of energy to fight what he's fighting. And we're waiting to hear back from the doctors. And as I keep saying, listen, what I will say, and I've said this repeatedly, and I understand a lot of people get worried if they haven't heard anything. If you don't hear anything from me on any social media platform, there is no update. The second there is an update, obviously Kim, Tammy, and I speak. Then after we've decided what we're going to say, we let the family, and when I say family, I mean the very, very close-knit to people with Bob that know him well know. And then either I do something on We Are Tottenham TV or a channel, or I will release something via social media, because the love this man is getting is simply outstanding. It's very, very moving. You got to remember, before Bob became ill, he was blown away just by the support that he got for his helping finance his dad's funeral. So he knows just how important and how much he is loved, and he loves everyone back just as much. But like I said, if you hear no news, do not panic. It just means there is no news to tell.
Good man. Well, I hope it's. It looks like it's going. Well, hopefully it's up and down, but it goes in the right direction, mate.
Well, sure. They said basically with this up and down, they said this is perfectly natural. This isn't a singular episode, and it's just Bob. We've got to remember there's hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of people around the world having to go through this. Yeah. And obviously all of our attention right now is towards Bob Spur, but our hearts go out to everyone that's going through this. But obviously, I've had a few friends that have lost parents to COVID. I've had a couple of the family have COVID, but nothing as serious as hospitalization or anything. So everything I'm hearing with Bob is brand new to me. But what the doctors, and they are the best ones that know, obviously, they say this is very, very common, especially when Bob's fighting pneumonia. So just hopefully, I wish I could take his place and kick the fucking shit out of pneumonia for him. But unfortunately, that's impossible. So he's just got to carry on fighting. And the one thing every single person that's come into contact with Bob knows, this guy knows how to fight. And we just got to hope he's got one last huge fight in him.
Well, not one last one. He's going to have loads more fights to come, right?
Well, you know what I mean.
Yeah,
He's
going to be fine, mate. He's going to be fine. Come on, Bob Spur. Up the Bob.
Yeah, we
well said, Brian.
That as well.
Well said,
so much love for Bob around all the channels, all the Spurs channels, all rooting for him. But when there's no updates, I always look at it this way: when it's just been on the end of a positive update, it makes me feel good. It's a really good it's a really good vibe. Then you keep on the positive feeling going there. Reiterated by everybody as well. You see it every channel. Big up, Bob. Oh, everybody wants to ask.
It's actually getting across the footballing community. I'll tell a quick story. When I was coming back to London from Toronto, I took a picture of me just about to board my plane, and instead of that singing "We're coming for you, Leicester City, we're coming for you," I sang "I'm coming for you, I'm coming for you, my brother Bob, blah blah blah." And a Leicester fan who I've never met, never knew, sent a message going, "Well, the last time you sang that was when you were chasing us. How did that work? Ha ha ha." And when I landed, I saw it. I was like, "Mate, listen, what the fuck do you think you're doing? You don't know what's going on." I explained the situation. This guy, whose name is Wayne Holland, him doing something so negative has turned into something so positive, because he has taken this. He is so apologetic and did not every single day. How's Bob? How's Bob? How's Bob? How's Bob? How's Bob? He's tweeted it to the football world, saying, "Everyone, please help Bob, send a message." And it's like, literally, this is the thing. He didn't understand the situation. Obviously, he just saw the song and thought, "Ha ha." But it's going beyond Spurs fans now. The love for this man. And like I said, the only thing as well, and the reason I keep saying, please listen when I say if there's no update, take it. I said that on, what day are we now? Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday. I said it on Sunday on We Are Tottenham TV. We didn't do an update yesterday because there was no update, and we didn't do any live shows. On my way to the studio today, I got 15 messages. Any update on Bob? Any update on Bob? Any update on Bob? And obviously, I don't mind receiving these, but it's just when I say there's no update, then I make sure I respond to everyone just to let them know. And then Kim gets it. Kim, like, anywhere she goes, ping, 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 ping. And it's just, we're dealing with a lot emotionally, physically, whatever. And every time the phone pings, we think, "Oh shit, is this something about Bob? Is this something about Bob? Is this something about Bob?" So like I said, every single time there is something to tell, we will tell you. And now I'm going to go quiet.
Unseen.
Yeah.
Big up, mate. Big up, buddy. Well done.
Yeah, big up, mate. Thank you, Brian. It's always good to hear from you. Like official voice for the Bob Spur Foundation, really. You and Kim couldn't wish for better people in your corner than Brian and Kim. And Iris and Arthur and Tammy. Yeah, everybody connected with Bob is fantastic. I actually feel a bit emotional at times thinking about that. It's amazing how much you get to know and love some people on the channels. It's fantastic stuff. Anyway,
I got a question to lighten the mood, Kuba, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Bun.
Sure.
Bun.
Yeah.
Bun.
He doesn't call me by my name now. He just goes, Bun.
Bun. I got a question for you, bro.
I've got a question for you as well.
It sounds like blind date.
I wanted to ask you, right? How good is that chair?
Oh, how much do you weigh?
A lot.
Listen, mate, I'm a big fella. I weigh 90 or 18 and a half stone, and it's not fit for purpose for me. I'm sitting it because the second that I'm not on a Tottenham stream, it gets shifted out of the way, and I bring in the armchair. It's not people. I'm gonna create a new company called Fat Boy Gaming Chairs, which is just gonna be gaming chairs that are like 6 or 7 inches wider with a really soft, like super soft, like duck down feather pillowed cushion, and just everything about it fitter for people of my kind of caliber of man. Whereas if you're someone that's of normal height, normal size, normal weight, then it's probably something you might enjoy. But really, it's not worth the cockerel.
Pre-order one, please.
Of the Fat Boy Gaming chairs, yeah, I'm gonna get like 100 of them made, and they're all gonna be Tottenham-esque, and hopefully I can just find 100 big fellas that support Tottenham.
I think I think that's a good marketable idea you've got there. I think there'll be a lot of pre-orders on that.
I hope so. Yeah, I'm going to crowdfund it.
I'm having to use one of those air-filled cushions that you get on wheelchairs on my chair at the moment.
I want to get those huge beanie, like the huge ones.
Love saps.
Yeah, I so want one.
Yeah,
I
they're
so
very
want
expensive
one.
now.
Yeah, but I just so want one. I just want to run and jump on it, so I have to get one.
Bun.
Yes.
Bun.
Tell me something funny, something disgusting, and something that is not safe for work that happened in Amsterdam.
Right, and it's time to finish the stream. Dermot's going to be back on any second.
That's the naughty step.
I want to hear. Okay, well, you can text me later, but I want to hear some Amsterdam stories, my man. All right, carry on.
What you get now if you're naughty, because you're part of this channel now, you get the naughty step for about 2 seconds.
I do have one. I do have a serious question for Bun now. Bun, who is Rob?
What was it again, Coof? Sorry.
Wilma Flintstone or Betty Rubble? Who's hotter?
Ooh, Wilma.
Yeah, well, yeah, she's hot. I'll go with Wilma, but I'll be thinking of Betty. So it's a Red Dwarf joke, that one, really. But it funny. Anyway, I noticed also on
the super chat during he started putting loads of them actually, and then what was the one that made me laugh is our super chats a time waste discussed with PowerPoint.
It's discussed with diagrams, yeah, that's right.
Diagrams, yeah.
Truth Sets 3 saying, come on everybody, keep doing the super chat so Brian can't close the stream down.
Yeah.
So I was replying with, sorry, I don't do super chats.
I have to say we do have the monopoly on closing down shows half an hour or an hour later, and we're still going. We went.
I don't know. Have you ever seen Mari's Love Lounge?
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
You can have a 1 hour show lasts about 3.5 hours usually.
That is brilliant.
And then there's backstage as well. You can book the week off if you're going to be on that.
Wayne Bonner's got one for you, Kuth.
Betty Rubble or Betty Spencer?
Oh, Betty.
Betty Spencer was hot as well. Yeah.
No, then you got chucking Jessica Rabbit into any of these, and Jessica Rabbit.
That was my pick. Yeah, Jessica Rabbit.
Jessica Rabbit.
You're talking nonsense now, Brian. She's just not obtainable.
I think Lola Bunny.
Yeah, how old is Jessica Rabbit now, though? That film was made in like the 1970s.
I've always been after a cougar or a milk, mate, all day long. All day long. But now the show's going completely wonky. Let's get back to yeah.
Hang on. Danny, did I hear that right? He's after Coover. Did I hear that right?
You're after a Coover.
I heard that right too.
Do you know what?
Yeah, I could go for a Brian, but I'm still thinking of Betty Rubble.
Still in the I said Cougar.
Nah. We all heard what we heard, Brian. Don't worry about that.
Well, then you all need to go get your ears syringed because I said Cougar.
This is now turned into TTG blind date. Coover and Brian. Where are you going on your first date?
Do you know what? I've had worse dates.
Nice. Yeah, that Cooper. Yeah, not as bad as.
Going outside, I just had a voice note from Tammy, so I don't know if it's an update. I'll be back in a sec.
Right, fair enough.
Oh God. Right, can I just say something, Cooper? I'm going to say, Ben, I enjoyed the argument this morning, sir. Very good. It was a great show.
Argument.
It was actually, but we do get on, don't we, Ben? There's no malice in what we were saying. But George Press is better.
It was at one point I thought, oh, Ben's seething now. I thought this is kicking off any minute.
Everyone knows me. I always big up the Tottenham lads more than anyone else. I'm like Dermot with Irish people, except they have to be as soon as they're Tottenham.
Hang on, there you go. There, we'll put you on the main screen there, Ben.
I will always big up the Tottenham player. I'm like Dermot when he's talking about Irish players. As soon as it says Tottenham, I will go to hell and back.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
But can't have a best ever player conversation without Glenn Hoddle.
If someone says that Cafu is better than Steve Perryman, I will go to war.
Absolutely.
Dolly Parton or Stevie Nicks?
Dolly Parton, because she's so lovely.
Dolly Parton is nice, but Stevie Nicks though.
Well, on the right wing back spot for Tottenham.
Yeah.
Not getting all past those.
Nice.
You take that how you will take it.
Fleetwood Mac, brilliant band.
I feel like your chat group have all got bored waiting for their comments to be read out, so they're not commenting anymore.
I think we
I
apologise for ruining the stream today. I've sent this has gone out the window.
I just want to know what you had your coffee.
We're so professional.
I had the coffee because I was
cut off the end of the stream, and we didn't watch Tottenham lifting the FA Cup.
I wasn't very well. I'm sorry, Cooper, at that point.
Okay, so not really an update. But
all of this really sort of crappy game, and then didn't even get to watch us lift the cup. I just thought, that's spot on, Dermot.
So I'm just going to give you a little update because I said I'm going to go up. It's not. I haven't really got on to update you, but like we said, if we have things, we'll tell you. Tabby just tried to call the hospital. They're still doing the handover. Apparently, they've been very well. I mean, I'm not going to start going down that road to start getting very wound up with. We've been waiting all day, and apparently, Tammy's got a call around about 9:15 to speak to a doctor. And we should, but I will tell you now, when we've had to go through this, it's been like, oh, they'll call you tomorrow. We're sorry, whatever. And that's when I start getting very annoyed because you're talking about one of my best mates here. You're not talking about someone that's got a fractured toe or this guy's got kids, this guy's got Kim, he's got Tammy, and there's hundreds and thousands of people that want to know an update on him, and it's not being done right. So we should have something at 9:15. Whether I will be able to update people this evening via social media or whatever, I don't know. But that's the latest. Just let people know. So if people want to know the exact up to the minute latest from Bob, is we're waiting for a doctor to see him anytime now within the next hour and a quarter, and then we might find out more.
What does Bob Spur do for work, Brian?
So you know what? Thankfully, and one thing I can't remember the name of his company. I've got to because I know some of them are football, so I don't know if they watch this channel. Bob has worked within the speaking Canadian, within the car industry for most of his life, and one of the reasons that he's been able to move closer to Kim is because he got a job working to be a manager at a car showroom or a senior whatever. I can't remember what the position was.
Yeah.
But the position was due to start late November, early December. But then because he'd got a company car and his address was still registered as Derby, until he got his license back with his new address, they couldn't let him start because of insurance purposes. Then he was due to start. Then his manager got COVID, ironically. So it got delayed again. And he was basically meant to start the day his dad died. And then obviously he had to phone and say, I obviously can't start.
How's he doing for money? Is he okay for money?
We're all looking after that. We're all don't worry. I mean, at the moment, there's things in plans going on behind the scenes and everything. So at the moment, making sure everything is cool. But then what happened is obviously he was going to start a week later, and that's when he got hospitalised.
Yeah.
And before he went into coma, we never got to tell him the original first Cobra, Bob was petrified about his job because obviously he wanted to, he could. And thankfully, I can't remember the name of the company, but if any of you are watching or know someone where it was just because you know of Bob Spur and he was going to work with you, this company, Kim called them to say, listen, this is the situation. And I am blown away by this company's generosity and whatever. They said, listen, we're really sorry to hear about Bob. Let him know when he wakes up, he has absolutely nothing to worry about. This job is his. We're not hiring. We're not looking for someone else. It takes as long as he fucking well needs. Bob still has a job.
Amazing.
He's never been able to know that bit of information. But if anyone knows, and Kim does know, and I'll find the name and I'll plug the head out of this car showroom or dealership, whatever it is, they have been, for someone that hasn't even worked a day for this company.
Yeah, it's rare, that is. Yeah.
Twice delay it, but obviously for very, very logical, very, very feasible reasons. This company could easily have said, listen, he hasn't done a day's work for us. We need this job filled. Tell us, bye-bye.
Yeah.
Sorry. But they have said to him, listen, this job is his. If we ain't shifting it out, we ain't getting a temp, we ain't doing nothing. Bob does what Bob needs to do to get to full strength. And when he's at full strength and he's cleared to work, his job is here. So
bravo for that company. Yeah, really cool. That
if anyone is watching that knows that company, let me know. I'll find it out. But if you do work for that company on the off chance, thank you from the bottom of my heart and all of Bob's fans, followers, whatever you want to call them, because that is a huge amount of generosity and class by that company.
Rare. It's very rare.
Loyalty is the number one thing in my world. If you're loyal to me, I will do hence why I'm here. Screw me over once, get out of my life for the rest of my life. You're done for. So for a company in this day and age, especially through COVID, where jobs are at a premium, companies are going under, to offer this sort of olive branch to Bob, is just outstanding.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, bravo. Yeah, get that name of that company.
I will do.
I got because I work in marketing, I can pretty easily help companies get a bit more visibility. So
surely, boy, I need to sell some coffee.
I'll help you, mate. I'll help you. No problem. Send me the details of your website and stuff. I'll help you.
Hollywood, Phil.
You what?
How do you think Phil the Tis turned into Hollywood, Phil? Coincides with Sean being on the channel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
By the end of the stream, Hollywood Phil is going to be West Ham Phil. He's going that far down.
Yeah. Hey, I don't know if you guys have seen it. I know it's a Tottenham chat, so it might be worth talking about Tottenham for a split second. I don't know if you've seen on Sky Sports, Romelu Lukaku has come out with a tweet on Chelsea TV saying he's very sorry for the upset. There's a video on SkySports.com. I don't know if you'll be able to show that on your channel, but he's come out just in time before tomorrow to get a I'm sorry, please. Let me back, friends, Chelsea friends, yeah.
Oh, sorry. I had this discussion with Ben saying, do you know what? When he comes out tomorrow, because he's blankly going to start.
Definitely start.
He'll also score a goal tomorrow.
I'm saying a lot will depend on the reaction he gets from the crowd when he comes out. You know, when he first comes out and warms up.
Good point.
When they read the lineup and they go in goal number, when they say number whatever he is, Lukaku, he's either going to get booed or he's going to get 50-50 or he's going to get a huge. But this is the thing. Ben, and I agree with Ben, actually said, you know what? If there's been any game but Tottenham in the semi-final, he probably would have got booed.
Yeah, I agree.
He probably would have got booed this time. But what the Chelsea guy said yesterday as well is Romelu Lukaku now has to come out and has to be on fire immediately.
And I think he will be, yeah.
The trap door's opened. One bad game, one bad miss, that crowd's going to turn very, very quickly.
That's why I'm terrified about playing Joe Rodon. I don't think that Chelsea are going to play
Sean,
the
can
ball.
I just... Sorry, Sean, don't mean to interrupt you. Cooper, the show is you, sir. All right, I have to go off. You know why. But I'm going to have to go off now.
No problem.
And listen, I see you lot back in the morning, 11:30. We may do the late Spurs show tonight. We're not sure. We may do the late Spurs show. So we'll be on for that. But Brian, Danny, Ben, it's been an honour, sir. Sean, I'll let you carry on.
Cheers, mate. Love you. Feel better.
You just do what you have to do. But there's one thing, Cooper, I have to say to you.
You never beat the English.
You never beat
You never beat the English.
You never beat the Greeks.
Mate,
just fed off. You never beat
I knew he'd come back. English.
When
come back on again in a second.
When Dermot drops off, it's like an airplane. When you know what, when the airplane lands and it pulls into like a taxi into runway, and then they finally turn the engine off, and he goes like the noise, that fan of his or whatever it is that makes that noise. It's like a whole different environment.
Absolutely.
Sorry, yeah.
Anyway, we done the important questions like Betty Rubble or whatnot.
Jessica Rabbit.
Danny will. Danny's into his Wilmers, obviously. Chris sent Chris, big up to yourself, mate, as well for joining us.
Yeah.
And punches all round from Chris. That's the Chris way of doing everything. He also wants one of those gaming chairs, so that's his second order there, Sean.
What a big one!
Orders. You've got orders before
boys.
you've even got a plan for the.
No, I've been on Alibaba since because everyone second I started coming on to Irish Hotspur, Dave mentioned it. A lot of people have been asking about it, but they're just not big enough for me. Like it's not comfy enough. I'm a big boy. I want something. I want this is like an economy seat. I want first class in my gaming chair.
I need it as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to go and get one.
If there's a product called Fat Ass Gaming Chairs, I'm in there.
Yeah, Fat Boy Gaming Chairs. That's what I'm doing. FBGC.
Oh, here we go. Danny and Brian in the building. Danny admitted Winks and Davis are good players. Who do you think said that?
Oh, yeah, I can see Alex. Yeah. No, yeah, they have been good. I've spoken. Alex knows my opinion on these two players because we've spoken in the stadium about them.
I love
but
that. Alex,
it doesn't. Those two players have to do it for the whole year. It's not just a few games or since Conte's been here. They have to do it the whole season for me to change my opinion fully on them. They're doing well, and I hope it continues because all I give a shit about is Spurs doing well. I don't care which player it is, as long as we're doing well and we can keep winning and keep pushing up the table and keep progressing in the cups. Then I don't give a shit who it is, as long as it's Tottenham as a whole that keep playing well, really. And if them two want to stay in the team while Conte's here, they're going to have to keep those levels up. Otherwise, they can piss off as well.
In the words of Graham Roberts, play for the badge on the front of the shirt,
exactly,
and the fans will remember the name on the back.
Exactly.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
I think Winksy's set up for a worldie tomorrow night. I think.
I hope he fucking does. We all three of us.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I'm no Wink.
It's like people think us three slag off players just for the sake of slagging players off. We're desperate for them to turn up.
Exactly.
Yeah. No, I agree.
If they do well, then we know Spurs are going to do well, and they're going to more than likely have a positive result.
Could I ask you three this question? Oh, sorry, David. Sorry, Kuba. Do you want to? Is there anything?
Yeah, I was just going to say. I'll just add into it. And who doesn't love a comeback story as well?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So the question I have for you three:
Winks and Davis turning out to be some of our best players in the Conte era for the next 2 years, if Conte stays an additional year after next season. Like if them two players, because no matter what, right, they're going to be part of the squad, and I think in the long term, those two players will be replaced. Maybe not sold, but they'll be replaced in terms of buying better quality. Yeah. But they will be in the squad, and Conte will use them and utilize them to make them feel part of the squad. And I've said this a million times. It's all about the balance and about making everyone believe they're part of something. And that's what Conte has started to do. And you can see that he's trying to bring everyone into it. He knows who he can't trust, and they're the ones who you're going to see go in the next two to three windows. They're all going to go. They're all going to go.
So talking about being part of something, I've had this debate with Sam or Shane, the fella I was on with. Yeah, and Dave and Jack on their show, and Coover and I spoke about it. I'm not sure, Ben, if you were part of the conversation. We spoke about it yesterday, I think it was. But Shane or Sam and I agree, and Jack and Dave didn't. The question is, and this happened before the game against Watford, where Sanchez had a worldie. When Romero is back, fully fit, and he looks like he'll be fit in the next week or two, does Sanchez get, because it's going to be Sanchez because Romero's the right centre back and that's Sanchez's spot. Does Sanchez get dropped immediately? That Romero, and I don't like if Romero gets 10 minutes or 20 minutes of match fitness at the end of the game. I'm not counting that as the drop. I mean, the next game, if Sanchez does nothing wrong, if he scores a goal, if he does what he did to save Dyer's arse against Southampton in the last minute, if he did like he did against Watford and block out Dennis and King, do you drop Romero? Do you drop Sanchez for Romero? Because we all know that Romero's first choice in the long run. I think we'd all say that. But do you drop Sanchez immediately that Romero's fit, or do you have to wait until Sanchez makes a reasonable mistake to drop him and put Romero in the efforts of trying to create a competitive environment where every player feels like if they do well enough, the shirt is theirs? What would you do? I'll go to Brian first.
Okay, so for me, and I as you would have seen, Sean, on all the channels, I have been raving about Sanchez over the last few weeks. I really have, and he deserves the thing I will say with this is I was very, very surprised when we signed Romero. Not surprised that we signed Romero, but I was very surprised. I thought he was going to be the centre back of a three. But obviously we've adopted him on the right now. With the kind of injury he's got, and we know with a hamstring or whatever, it's one of those muscles you have to be careful. Especially the severity of his hamstring injury that he's had. So the thing we got to keep remembering, and I keep saying, isn't backup, it's competition. Sanchez right now hasn't warranted, and also you got to look at it. If Dyer is still out with COVID, or if it is him, maybe Romero comes into the middle and Sanchez stays on the or the other way around.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, good idea.
Now, it's competition now. But like I said, with Romero, don't get me wrong. As much as I love Sanchez, Romero is levels upon levels upon levels of him, and eventually he will be that first choice. But with this, we got to take this very, very gradually. It's also we saw the class he was having before he got injured. So we know it's there. But coming back from this injury, this isn't right play 10 minutes, right 90 minutes. And you've got to remember, we've got the fixture pile up as well with Burnley, with Leicester, with Brighton. He's got to be managed very, very carefully. If the defence hadn't been doing as well as they had, I probably would have said, you've got to bring him in. But right now, we've got the luxury of being able to bring him in gradually. But don't get me wrong, in the long run, without a doubt, he is the long time. That is his position. Okay. But I think motivationally as well, we've seen it. If you just drop Sanchez and go, right, Romero's back, you're out, that could have a real adverse effect.
Yeah, it sends a horrible message, right?
Exactly. So that's my opinion. I mean, right now,
I agree.
Straight back in just gradually, but he is.
I agree wholeheartedly what you just said. 100%.
No doubt, he is the number one for that position, but he's got to get back to where he was to say, right, off you go, Sanchez. Thanks a lot, but bye.
So quick follow up then before I'm sorry, I'm taking the lead on this one, Coop. I do apologise, mate.
No, that's great.
Before I pass it around, quick
follow up.
By the way,
we're here in Ben's shop and he was meant to shut at 6. It's now 8 o'clock. So Ben, brother, so that's how good the coffee is. But yeah, go on.
So in a world where, let's say Dyer goes down for a couple of weeks, let's say there's an injury there, would you rather, because we know that Sanchez can't play left centre back, right? We saw how bad he was getting turned inside and out by a Slovenian plumber. Right, so if you're going to put Romero or Sanchez in the middle, which one of those, and let's say long term, for argument's sake, that Sanchez steps up to his 40 million quid target and continues this form, and Romero's the player we want him to be, which one of those two do you think can play centre? Which one of those two do you think has to be right centre back?
So the only thing well, I'll be honest now, and I will always say this when it comes to players. When we signed Romero, I heard all the great things about him, but I had no idea who he was. I can't confess to what I used to watch a lot.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah.
Now I just, for some reason, I just haven't. And now that I'm married and I always watch my Tottenham and on these streams, I said to my wife when she's off work, I'm Tottenham, whatever. But my time apart from that is with you, not watching football. So Romero, like I said, I always thought was going to be the centre, and also I thought we were going to be playing a back four.
Yeah.
But Sanchez for me. From what I remember, he was playing in the centre or the right when we had Vertonghen, Sanchez, and Toby, and Vertonghen was obviously on the left. Now, those two he was with, we all know how good they were. Probably in my lifetime, the best centre back pairing we've ever had in my lifetime. So it's very easy to say, right, you're going to play well like that. I think Romero probably has the capabilities to go central more just because he is levels above.
Yeah.
I think we have found Sanchez's right position. where he's doing well.
Yeah,
and that's where we got to focus him on. I think Romero can go anywhere in the back three. He is that good.
Good answers, mate. Good answers. I like that. I agree with you 100%.
But again, this all comes down to keeping the squad happy, and Conte can do that. Conte can do that.
Can I add to that as well, right?
Danny, please come in, mate. Yeah, Bum.
So,
sorry, Danny. Sorry, Bum.
If you're going to say Danny, you have to go do beforehand.
Yeah. And I don't do that very often.
I know, yeah. So like, I think Brian's spot on what he was saying, right? I think Sanchez's best position is the right side of the defense. I think the way Conte plays, I think he likes to have the left centre back and the right centre back as the quick defenders.
Yeah.
The reason why the way that we play, the way we want to play, and the way the system he sets it up is so that the wing backs can push forward, and you've got the right centre back and the left centre back are supposed to be the quicker ones out of the three, right? Because they're the ones who can kind of, as you've seen, Sanchez and Davis are both getting very far up the pitch. You saw it in games where Sanchez is playing like a fucking centre attacking mid at certain points towards the end of games and things, right? And he's really pushing everyone forward. And you've got Dyer, who's the slowest one out of the three. Yeah. He just sits back, right? He's the one that's like on the halfway line all the time. He doesn't go past it, right? And I think I think probably Romero's best position is probably on the right side of a three. And I think long term it depends on how he decides to manage that. But I think, like Brian was saying, if anyone's going to take that central spot and compete with Dyer for it, I think it is going to be Romero, because I think he's class enough. He's class enough to do that, right? I think Let me ask
this though, Bun. So if we know that Sanchez, you have to educate me, or all four of you educate me here. Is there a situation like if the back three are supposed to play if the back three are supposed to be obviously more offensive, and two of those players are supposed to be able to ping balls around and be more creative with the passing, we know Sanchez isn't as good as Romero with the passing, right? So, and educate me here, because I don't know. Anyone else who knows as well, educate me. But of the three centre backs, is the central centre back the least needed to be pinging passes? Do the passes usually come from the left and the right centre backs? Because if so, and Romero's the best or better than Sanchez, then does having him central negate his ability to ping the passes?
I think I can answer this.
Before you answer it, right? I think to be honest with you, I think all three of them need to be able to have that passing ability, right? All three of them need to, and that's the way Conte wants it, because that's how he's always had. The way he's always played is with ball-playing defenders, right? If you look back at all his teams over the years, most of his defenders have always been ball-playing defenders, right? So I think the way that his system needs to work at full capacity with full effectiveness is so that all three of them are ball-playing. Now, I think Sanchez, in the long run, he will be a squad player, and he'll be a utility player. So he'll be played when players get injured. He'll be played in maybe the cup games. He might occasionally need to swap around. That's crazy. He might need to swap around, like to manage games and stuff, like game management, right, and squad management. Because, like what Conte wants to do is he wants to give game time to everyone to keep everyone fresh. So there might be, I don't know, Sanchez might come in for, say, a Wolves game, for example, right?
Yeah.
Whereas we play Chelsea the next game, for example, Romero comes back in.
Yeah.
So it'll be a matter of game management. But I think long term, Romero will probably be the right side of the centre backs. Dyer will, as long as he's not injured, I think Conte likes him enough, and he likes what he obviously, by the comments, he said he thinks he can be a world-class defender. He obviously wants him in the central part of that defence, because he obviously sees the leadership qualities, and also Dyer's improvement this year, not just his defending and his positioning, but his also his crossing and his balls that he's doing. He's playing like Toby-esque passing now, like the way he's playing his balls forward. So I think Dyer's position is kind of nailed on at the moment, and it's a matter of them getting a better left-sided centre back to compete. And I don't think I think the only defender we're going to get is a quality left-sided centre back who's going to compete with Davis. So then you've got Sanchez, Romero for the right side, and you've got also Dyer for the centre. And if, say, Dyer gets injured, then Romero goes into that centre, because he's also got the leadership ability. And I think Sanchez goes to the right. So
And then Tanganga as a reserve for one of those two as well, right?
As a utility player, yeah, definitely. But I think we're going to see at some stage, whether it's this January or I reckon in the summertime, I think he needs a loan, and I hope that he gets a loan in the summer because he needs, and I've been saying this for so long, he needs a Kyle Walker style loan. He needs to go to a mid to kind of top sort of 7, top 8 kind of Premier League team, right?
Yeah.
He's going to be a starting centre back week in, week out, so he can finally get used to a position and nail on position and start like actually progressing and developing his career.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, I agree. I think Tanganga's too good.
Like I said, it's now gone 8 o'clock and this guy finishes at 6 o'clock. So me and Danny are going to leave and let Ben do what he needs to do, whatever, because this guy does have a home to go to, and me and Danny are hyped up on coffee and could probably be here till 4 in the morning. But especially with Sean. I mean, Sean, I have to say very quickly, I say you're becoming a very big contender for this. Jens from Shelfside Spurs has the best laugh on YouTube.
Yeah.
Closely creeping up. We're gonna have to have a laugh off.
I keep getting told I sound like the Joker or the Riddler. I just, I agree with myself.
That's not a bad nickname to have, mate. Yeah, that's thanks to nicknames.
I'm getting Boise, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Oh, we can have our own comic relief here. We should do our own telethon for comic relief and just get Sean and Jens laughing back and back.
I appreciate that. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that.
Before we go,
I mean, when it comes to Romero playing in that centre, I think Conte wants almost what Terry Venables wanted with Ledley King in the Christmas tree formation.
Yeah.
He wants his middle centre-back to be pushing into midfield to receive the ball and then pass it. Romero's not so much of someone that pings a 90-yard ball. He's someone who grabs the ball in midfield aggressively because we've seen him. He's very good.
Yeah. Loves it.
Apart when he got sent off against whoever got sent off against. Grab the ball in midfield, make a run using his pace and power, and then being able to move it on.
So you'd rather see him centrally, would you?
I would rather see him centrally, personally, because I think Sanchez and Romero, both Spanish speakers, could go down like a house on fire.
And then Davies on the left of them,
and then Sanchez is the more passive guy who can do those faded balls. So I think either way, with Dyer or I think those three could work really well together.
Yeah,
that's personally my opinion.
Yeah, I think personally, Sanchez is more of a backup for Dyer because as soon as Romero's back, like as Danny pointed out, Romero's big strength is going forward, aggressively going forward onto the players in front of him. That is his big thing. You've got to have somebody at the back then that covers everything. Yeah. You can have Davis flying up the pitch, Romero aggressively going forward. You've got to have somebody hanging back. Sanchez has been very good one-on-one situations, despite the high-profile mistakes. Over the course of time, he's shown that he's very, very good at it. Dyer's thriving at the moment, but at the end of the day, it will always come back to this ball-playing ability. They've got to have the technical ability, because at Conte, he wants all of his teams to be possession-based. Yeah. You can't have a loose passer of the ball at the back there. They've all got to be totally on point. They've got to be comfortable on the ball, under pressure, finding the passes.
And who's the weakest? Accurately. Who's the weakest Cougar at the moment of all of the 5 centre backs, including Tanganga? And actually, it's easy because the answer is Tanganga, but excluding him, who is the weakest in ball in possession? Sanchez.
It does appear to be Sanchez. Yeah, he's the one that struggles most under pressure.
The thing is with Sanchez, it's not just Sanchez. That back three, and this is the last thing I'll say because I am going to let Ben fucking shut his shop if it kills me. The thing is, when we play, we all know this back three, if you look at them, every single game they have got a mistake in them. They do. There's no getting away from it. But you know what? I think the pressure of them playing in a back four where their mistakes were capitalised, and if you made a mistake, it normally led to something horrific because there was one man to clean it up, put more pressure on them. Now that there's that three, like we saw with Dyer and Southampton, there's a Sanchez there. If Davis has made a mistake, there's a Dyer there. The three makes their mistakes a lot more easier to deal with, rather than just like bang mistake on through on goal. That extra bit of insurance has helped them. And if you look, Sanchez made a couple of bad passes against Watford, but they did not get. Oh Jesus! So Newcastle have agreed a fee for Trippier. So Get in there, people. Apparently, this is a month you can spend money. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
So,
12 million pound. That's all it is.
I'm going to stop there, Sean, because I think we know where we're going this. I'm going to go to the bathroom.
very, very, very quick one because we're going to wrap up now. One word answer from everybody. Mark Cousins' question: if you could take Gareth Bale back if he was offered, would you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the best player, but at the end of last season.
Yeah.
Yes, me too. How about Bum?
Bum?
What's that?
Gareth Bale back.
You could take Gareth Bale back, would you?
I'd take him back if we get him on cheap wages for 6 months. I think so, because what he can offer.
One word answer we were going for.
It depends.
Right, let's wrap it up. We'll say brilliant to have the three of you on from Ben's coffee house. That was superb. It's 3-in-1, absolute legends. All three of you.
Here's the main star.
We'll do a quick. Where can we find you? We know where we'll find Ben. That'll be in his coffee shop. And
I'll let the star take the stage now.
Stop calling me the fuck. I'm no star. I'm no
the
star.
Messiah. Where can we find the Messiah?
No, do you know what it is? What my mum used to say. My mum used to say, even when I left school, because I wasn't I can't say the word, academic. Fucking hell. Was that my mouth is my weapon of mass destruction. It can get me into trouble and it can get me out of trouble. And that's the only thing that. This is why, like I've said, with the whole Levy out and doing this and doing that, I've been available to spout my nonsense that some people think, or words of wisdom, which those words don't really go with me. Words of wisdom, Daigle. No, that's but yeah.
Brian. Yeah.
And they can find this one, as well as Brian Ireland and Adam Clark on Tottenham on Tour. Do you know what? It's lucky I don't speak in front of a camera to hundreds of people a day, isn't it? So Tottenham on tour, but they can also, that's our home, but they can find us on every channel, especially this one. Everyone should love this channel because they're up and coming, they're new, the concept. Oh, by the way, there was a game of football that was being played before we ransacked, before we literally ransacked the show.
You've seen half my face.
Yeah, everyone should love this channel because Kuva, Ben, Dermot, Phil Latis put a lot of work and effort in, and a big shout out to the guy Simon at Duck Jive who gives you the content. It's a unique thing that you guys do, and it's fucking brilliant. And you're all really not great people just to be on the stream, but you know what goes on in the back end with the Spurs family. You've all been even Sean. Sean's been a brand new.
No, not Sean. Levy's love child.
I say Levy's fucking blah, blah, blah. But listen, Sean and Cooper will be able to verify that, and Ben actually. When you come into this family, you see a lot of what goes on the streams. You see a lot of the same faces on the streams. You see a lot of, but no one really gets to see what goes on behind the scenes. And behind the scenes is I fancy singing Aladdin, A Whole New World. It really a whole
sing it, man.
A brand new. Jesus Christ, it's my coffee. Jesus Christ,
that coffee really needs investigation.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying what goes on behind the scenes is so much more. And you guys have been a real welcome addition. And just everyone, I urge you to like, subscribe, share, comment on this fantastic channel. But like I said, going back to it, you can find me and Danny at Tottenham on Tour.
There we go. Bum, anything to add to that, mate?
No, not at all.
Really. It's still there, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, legendary channel now, isn't it? Danny's a fantastic addition to the channel, I've got to say as well. It's been floating around the channels for a long time.
The hottest free agent. That's why we signed him before the window opened.
Exactly.
That's how you do it.
Daniel Levy, take notes. If you want the talent, get them in early.
Damn right.
Sean, mate, where can we find you?
Spurs Talk Show, mate. I'm up to 87, I think, subscribers now. So
it's going well, mate.
It's just climbing its way up.
Faster growth rate than we got. Not sure we should be talking to you now. Your competition.
No, yeah, Spurs Talk Show. Spurs on Twitter at Spurs Talk Show, and then you find me on this channel a lot and on Irish Hotspur frequently. And in a couple of weeks, I'll be on We Are Tottenham TV for a few watch-alongs and things. I was supposed to be on with Brian on New Year's Day, but my mum got COVID.
You missed the historic 100,000.
I know. I didn't want to miss it, mate. It wasn't planned. It was
exactly. But sure, we'll also get you on Tottenham on tour real soon.
Yes, mate. Yes, I'd love to, buddy. And likewise, you guys. And of course, Brian broke my. He popped my cherry. Popped my live stream cherry as my first guest on, and it was a superstar moment.
Never forget your first.
on that note, I think we better let the three of them go get off now, because Ben's shop is still running when it shouldn't be, isn't it?
Yeah.
So anyway, we'll speak to you later. Perhaps Sean, if you're still about for a couple of minutes, we'll just wrap up with a couple of chats and then
of course,
chats and that. We'll see you later. See you guys, the three of you.
And as always,
absolute pleasure.
In!
Leave you out. Leave you out.
I'll just go louder than you. Leave it out!
In!
Out!
In!
Leaving out.
Great to see them. They're brilliant. All three of them dropping in at the same time, mate.
Good
yeah, cheers for stopping on. I'm just going to get through a couple of comments and then we'll wrap it up, mate.
Yep, cool.
There we go. What have we got here? We did the Gareth Bale one. Aaron Dove saying about Winksy talking amongst themselves. He's talking. Yeah, sorry, Alex. I haven't really got round to it. There's not enough time to get into a huge Winks and Davies debate at the moment, but I think we'll do that another time, certainly. Especially if you're going to come on the channel with us. Scott M saying, drop either Dyer, Sanchez or Romero. Neither have shown enough lately to ignore how poorly they are as players. We need Romero in as soon as possible when he is ready. I think Sean will agree with that as well, wouldn't you?
No, I've said it before. I feel like you have to allow someone who's got the shirt to make a mistake to warrant dropping them.
Prove yourself on the training pitch. That's why it's the old cliche, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. Chris saying Scott M. They haven't really been poor, but to be honest, Sanchez has improved. Yeah, there's certainly truth in that. Man of the match of performances lately. Scott M. responding to Chris, they've both been poor over their careers, and lately it's been mediocre. Yeah, I suppose it could be one way of looking at it as well. Are they good enough in the long term? That's another question. Richard Weiss, great show, fellas. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, mate. Thank you for joining us. Big up from Scott M. Great show, great panel. Thank you, mate. Yeah, panel makes it every time. Otherwise, it's just me and Dermot wittering on. Sean, you're a great guest to have on. Always got loads to say. It's fantastic.
Too much. So I never shut up, do I?
No, it's fantastic. Well, what do you need on the show that's basically about talking? Scott M. Sanchez is weaker than Tanganga, but I think that's about talking about which is the most uncomfortable on the ball.
Yeah.
True Sets reason about Bale and 3 legends in one nest. That's a big up. Yep, certainly is. And you'll never ever beat the Irish House for Dermot going. Got to add Super Presso, Spurs Presso to the menu.
Nice.
Yes, that would be good. That would be good. And Thomas Tucker saying, great show tonight, lads. Hope to see more in the future. Thank you very much for joining us, mate. It's a pleasure to see new people coming into the channel. It really is. That wraps up the comments, Sean. Anything else you wanted to talk about before we go?
Well, I'd love to, what do you think about the Newcastle deal? I think it's so I would love to have had Kieran Trippier to a degree. I wouldn't mind having him back, right? I think he would have been a nice little slot in to be back up for for Emerson and then rotate. But I'm glad that if he's gone anywhere, I'm glad he's gone to Newcastle because it shows their determination, their intent, and it gets the ball rolling. You know, we need this. If we want things to happen this January, then we need clubs like Newcastle to get the domino of economic, transition moving down through the clubs. Atletico Madrid now got some money in. They can now make things happen their side. They got some good players. I think this is the start. I think there's going to be a lot more to come, and I'm excited. But I wanted to hear your opinion on whether Trippier we should have put a bid in for him.
I would have loved to have seen him back, even if it's to the end of the season. He's oozing with creativity. He can cross a ball. He can take free kicks.
Yeah,
We know he's got the attacking ability, which is first and foremost. That's what you need as a wing back in this system, because we have 3 centre backs with cover in front of them. It is that forward play that's the most critical. It's basically the form of width in the team comes from the fullbacks, from the wing backs. So yeah, Trippier for me was a no-brainer.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a weird one, isn't it? Like I can't imagine too many Spurs fans would have said no to him coming back, not to necessarily be a starter, but just to give us a second option. And then if Doherty's going for 6 mil. You know, Trippier is twice the player that Doherty is. Don't tell Dermot, but you know, and bit disappointing.
But
I'd imagine
come round to the fact he's wearing the shamrock glasses on.
I do feel like Trippier's probably gone and got himself an absolute bumper pay packet in Newcastle. He's probably getting 200 grand a week or something, which he wouldn't get.
And they're not going to be bothered at all about that. I mean, at the end of the day, they aren't going to be thinking he's there for 10 years, are they, on huge wages? They're looking at short term, keep them up and shore up their premierships or survival at first.
I
think he is the sort of player we should have got, though. Definitely.
Yeah, same. Disappointed, but it is what it is. As long as he's gone to Newcastle aren't a threat to us yet, and I think it's going to start the wheels of, you know, economic activity going. So I'm not that unhappy.
Got any sort of inkling what you might like to see there?
What do you mean? Sorry,
the sort of chain effect. You get wheels in motion when Trippier.
Well, it's always the case in January. It's who shoots first. Like it's like a duel. Like, you know, when you kind of two men in the old West used to turn around and try and fire, but it's the opposite. It's not. No one wants to pull the trigger. No one wants to sell someone until they know they can get someone in. No one else wants to buy until they know they can sell. It's always been that kind of like that Mexican standoff.
You need that stray shooter from the rooftop. You mean?
Yeah. You do. You need
dropping a bottle.
Exactly, yeah. The bottle falling off the bar in the Old West, and that's what starts everything, the mayhem. And so,
absolutely.
I think I think this could be
an interesting thought. We'll see if that happens, won't we?
Yeah.
Anyway, right. It has been a monster long stream. We were only going to pop on for about an hour, to be honest. But it's the way it works on this channel. Real pleasure to see so many people joining us. Some for the first time. Big up to all of you. It's what keeps us going. It's nice to be here talking and knowing there's people actually listening to all this nonsense, isn't it, Sean?
Yeah, it's weird. Weird.
It's a strange feeling, yeah.
There's 30 people out there right now that are willing to spend their time listening to us talk nonsense.
and plenty more when we're not even live. They catch up later on the channel, but
yeah,
it's good stuff. Yeah, big up to Sean's show anyway, the Spurs Talk Show.
Thanks, mate.
I will be on there as many times as you need me to, mate. As long as we're not streaming here, I'm mad for that sort of thing. Could talk Amazing. Spurs all day long and generally tend to.
Love it, mate. Well, I'll send you a message. Thanks, mate. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, no doubt.
And from all of us here, you'll never beat the Irish. I suppose we better say it since Dermot's not here. Never beat the Irish, or should we have a never beat the English and see if we can coax him on again?
Yeah. He's still in the background somewhere, of course he is.
He is, definitely. He'll be watching this and scowling now. Anyway,
furious.
Big up to everybody, and we shall see you again tomorrow morning for another morning show. If we're not on later, you never know with us. Sometimes we just spring out of nowhere with a sudden urge to come on. So, and if not, I'll see you on Spurs Talk Show.
Cheers, guys. I won't be up tonight. Yeah, it's you sometimes Dermot texts me at like 1:30 in the morning saying, "Sean, do you want to jump on?" I'm like, where do you think I am at 1:30 in the morning?
Does he really?
Yeah, he has been known to. Yeah, and I'm obviously asleep, and I see it at like 4:30 when the old man in me needs to get up and go and empty the bladder, and I go, Dermot's texting me again at 1:30, and I'm like, shall I get on? I'll see if he's still up. Then I go back to bed and fall asleep. So
brilliant. One of a kind is our Dermot.
He is.
Anyway, right. Right. Yep. Cheers, everybody, and we'll see you soon.
Bye, everybody.
Come on, you Spurs.